Live from the beautiful Pacific Northwest, the American Sports Network is proud to present the Minor League Baseball Sunday Showcase. Gorgeous conditions here tonight for our contest in the Northwest League as the Hops of Hillsboro take on the Spokane Indians in short season Single A. Well, hi again, everyone. I'm Dave Armstrong, along with former big leaguer Keith Moreland. Keith, first of all, beautiful night, beautiful ballpark, Single A, short season. What does that mean?
Well, it means you've got a lot of young kids that are a long way from the big leagues, but the excitement. A lot of these guys in their first year of playing professional ball, there's a lot of education going on right here. It is always fun for a guy that got the chance to play in the big leagues to come back and watch what it's like to be at the start.
And you know what? When you look at these players, all of them have aspirations of playing in the big leagues, and we showcase some of the highest talent. And we look at Spokane. They're in the Texas Rangers organization. They have a third baseman that they're very, very high on by the name of Taekwon Forbes.
When you look at Forbes, he's a guy drafted in the second round last year out of high school. I don't really know where he projects yet, whether he's a center fielder. I don't think he's a shortstop. I think he's going to be a big guy with tremendous power. He's got a tremendous arm. Long term, I think he may be an outfielder.
Now, Keith, I don't know what you were doing when you were 18, but I wasn't thinking about playing baseball, certainly not at the professional level. Maybe you were. Here's a kid, though, when you look at the Hillsboro Hops, their shortstop, 18 years old. He signed as a 16-year-old, Sergio Alcantara.
When you look at Alcantara, the one thing that he brings to the table is he's only 18 years old. A lot of times young players, especially foreign players, come into the United States. They don't let them play at a split-season level. They will keep them in their home country and let them play there. He has made his way into a short season. He's got all types of ability, not a lot of power yet, but he's a guy that can play tremendous defense.
Can't wait to watch these guys play here tonight. And coming up from Hillsboro, which is a suburb of Portland, Oregon, we are excited about minor league baseball. The Indians and the Hops, and it's coming up next on ASN. Beautiful ballpark here in Hillsboro, Oregon. Ron Tonkin Field, just 2 years old. And tonight, the Hops of Hillsboro are hosting the Spokane Indians. So far in this series, it has been all Hillsboro as they have won the first 3 games. Let's check out the Indians' batting order. Leading off, Darius Day, their center fielder. Then Jason Irizarry. He is their shortstop, batting second. Then Dylan Moore, Jamie Potts, Sherman LaCruz, Tyler Sanchez is behind the plate. Then Diego Cedeno, their first baseman. Taekwon Forbes, we talked about him in the open. He is the third baseman, hitting .246 on the year. And then the left fielder, Doug Votolato. He is batting ninth. The defense for the Hops, Luis Veras in left field. Zach Nerrier, he is the center fielder. Steven Desi is the right fielder. Jeff Smith at third. Sergio Alcantara, the shortstop. Fernery Ozuna is at second. Trevor Mitsui is the first baseman, and Jose Calles is behind the plate. On the mound is Carlos Hernandez, and boy, does he have a pitching coach. Former Cy Young Award winner Doug Drabek talks about tonight's starter.
Well, with Carl, a young kid, he's got a good fastball, probably 90 to 94, and for the most part, usually he has good control with it. It's got a curveball, a slider, and a change. The curveball and slider have kind of been a work in progress a little bit. They've been coming along, but the change is his go-to pitch. He's very comfortable with it, and he doesn't mind throwing it in any counter situation.
Boy, good to see Doug Drabek. Carlos Hernandez, the starting pitcher tonight for Hillsboro. Before we talk a little bit about him, Keith, let's talk about Drabek and how special he was for the Pirates.
Well, I don't think there's a question about it. In a certain time, over a period of 5 years, might have been the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
There's no other way to look at it. The guy that attacked the strike zone, much like he described Carlos, same type of pitcher that Doug was. He had an outstanding fastball, but he did everything around it. Used his breaking ball, used his changeup to set you up, did a really good job. And you talk about a competitor. You towed the rubber against any team with Doug Drabek. You had a chance to win.
And he's visiting now with Ashley Bullington. She'll be joining us a little bit later here in this festivity. As you look at Carlos Hernandez, just 21 years of age, and yet this is his 4th year of minor league ball.
That's something we're starting to see more and more of. Guys getting an education, starting early, especially those born outside of the United States.
Here's Darius Day leading things off, and he squares to bunt. Smith charges, throw to first, and not in time. So a bunt single for Day on the very first pitch of the game.
Well, this is a perfect bunt. Not anything you can do as a third baseman. You're in anticipating bunt. It just spins on this field turf, and it makes an outstanding play, but still no chance to get a runner on that. That's just a great bunt. Great placement.
Boy, good start for the Indians, who were whitewashed in last night's game 9-0 in favor of the Hops. So the lead man gets aboard, and that sets the table for Jason Irizarry, the shortstop, hitting .253. Fastball in there for a strike, and boy, Drabek was right about the accuracy and that fastball from Hernandez. That one clocked near 90. Irizarry, the number 14 prospect in the Rangers organization. And a high pop-up over on the left side. It's going to drift on into the stands that are still filling up on this Sunday afternoon in Hillsboro.
Of course, it is a gorgeous part of the country, no question about it, as you'll see the umpires.
Drew Bowman at home, and Derek Thomas on the bases.
Gorgeous part of the country, though. Been a great day to play baseball. It's been very warm in this part of the country, in the 90s a lot over the last 2 weeks.
Well, not today. Temps in the low 80s. This one popped up on the right side. Ozuna, the second baseman, calls for it and makes the play. One gone in the first.
Yeah, nice job of changing speeds right there. It's exactly what Doug Drabek was talking about, the ability to change speeds and the comfort. He has the courage and the ability to throw it for a strike with his changeup anytime he wants to.
Well, you saw the dimensions of Ron Tonkin Field, 325 down each line, 400 to straightaway center field. And as Keith mentioned, they use the field turf here. They play a lot of events on this field. They have 330 events per year on this field. They use it. Not all of those, obviously, are for Hops baseball games.
Well, it's just a great facility here in Hillsboro, just outside of Portland. I mean, you obviously got the soccer field, football field right behind us. A lot of youth fields in the area. Saw a lot of slow pitch softball going on today. I was looking for you to see if you were going to jump in there and swing the bat.
That's my deal, is slow pitch softball. High pop-up into right field. Lots of room out there for Desi. This one carries almost to the track, but there are now two out. Dylan Moore out, number 2.
And Moore just underneath this ball gets some pretty good carry going the other way. Ball up and out over the plate. That's always a great plus. Dave, when you give up a leadoff base hit, and if you can come back and get 2 quick outs, it's exactly what he's done. That ability to do that. Now, you still got another one to get. That's the toughest 2 outs to get when you get a leadoff base run on the first pitch of the game.
When you look at Jamie Potts, and it really emphasizes what you see a lot at short season A-ball. Boy, a close play at first base, and going in awkwardly back to the bag, Darius Day. I was talking about Jamie Potts, though. This is a kid who was drafted this year. Let's look at that play again at first. Oh, that tag on the elbow, I think, is what disrupted him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The ball right on the elbow, and that's his throwing arm more times than not. Just came down, might have caught the funny bone right there. As you come down and you just get that tingle and a numbness in your hand, but you can see, watch the tag come right down. Nothing on purpose. It just tried to get it down and hit it. That ball right on the under part of the elbow.
Never understood why they call that the funny bone, because there's nothing funny.
There's nothing funny about it.
Trevor Mitsui applied the tag, and again, as you said, nothing malicious there. That's just a first baseman trying to apply the tag. And boy, it looks like Day may be coming out of the ball game. He has no feeling, it looks like, in that right arm.
Just trying to get back to the bag, and these young men want to play. They want to impress the organization and try to make the steps up the ladder. Frustrating.
Darius Day wants to throw that helmet and finally does. So he'll be replaced in the lineup by Leon Byrd, and we saw him on ASN earlier this year at Rice.
Well, he played a lot of center field. He's played shortstop and throughout his time at Rice, getting his opportunity to make his debut in professional baseball.
So Byrd is one of those guys that just got out of college, and Jamie Potts, who went to Grand Valley State, another. And that's a lot of times what you see in short season A-ball.
Yeah, where they're making the transition into professional ball. Most big-time programs play and work out on a regular basis. You don't get like you're not used to playing every day, but you have to get used to that. But you have to get used to the equipment you're playing with, obviously with wooden bats instead of aluminum.
That's got to be the biggest adjustment.
It is. So many of these young men now, though, Dave, play in the summer. They played in wooden bat leagues. So they've made somewhat of an adjustment already. But it is adjustment to know that that bat can be broke off in your hand, I can tell you.
Oh, good off-speed pitch, and Potts swinging over the top of that. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jamie Potts.
That's just an outstanding changeup. Great arm speed with it. It was upstairs, still had him fooled.
Hernandez said his grandmother Alicia, who was his first manager back in the Dominican Republic at the age of 3, said she gave me the love of the game. Swing and a foul tip held by the catcher Kaylees, and that'll do it for the Indians. The lead single does no damage except to Darius Day, the lead batter, who has to exit stage left. Well, the Hops are coming up. It's a sun-splashed cloud here in Hillsboro today, and the Hops are coming up. Let's check out their lineup. Leading off for Hillsboro, Zach Nerriere. Then Fernery Ozuna, the second baseman, he bats second. Stephen Desi, the right fielder, bats third. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, Trevor Mitsui. Then Luis Averis, the left fielder, followed by Zach Hoffpower, the designated hitter. The third baseman is Jeff Smith. He bats seventh, batting eighth, the catcher, Jose Kaylees, and then batting ninth, the shortstop, 18-year-old Sergio Alcantara. On the mound for Spokane, we'll tell you about that in a second, but first of all, the Indians defensively. Votolato is in left field. Darius Day was in center, but now Leon Byrd takes his spot. Jamie Potts in right. Forbes at third. Irizarry is the shortstop. Moore at second. Cedeno at first, and Sanchez behind the plate. So Luke Lanphier is the pitcher for Spokane, and their pitching coach is Jose Jaimez, and he talks about his starting pitcher.
Luke Lanphier, he's been pretty solid for us so far. He throws fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup. His velo is around 90. I think one of his biggest tools is command. He's a kid that is able to throw the ball wherever he wants. He's very consistent, so that's for me his biggest tool.
All right, we'll see how consistent he is here tonight. Here is Luke Lanphier.
Well, you can see that. Only 4 walks in 20 innings of work. Not overpowering. He's not going to strike a bunch of guys out. He does mix in all 4 pitches. He has good command. He's got to pitch ahead. He's not one of those guys that can be 2-0 and 3-1. But that's not his MO. His command has been good enough where he can pitch ahead in the count.
So here is Zach Nerriere hitting .329 on the year. Broken bat squibber up the middle. Irizarry makes the play, and 1 up, 1 down.
Just tied him up inside with a 2-seamer that time. There's a piece of kindling right there. Got in on the hands.
So Nerriere out number 1, and that'll bring up Fernery Ozuna, the second baseman, to face Lanphier. Ozuna hitting .250 on the year with a couple of home runs, 13 runs batted in. Struggling just a little bit, just 7 for his last 35.
He's in his 4th year as a professional, Dave, and he's at the point now he needs to start making the transition. It's one of those situations in Short A. They'd like to get him going where he might be able to move up this season and make another step up to a full season A club.
2 ground balls already induced by Lanphier, and 2 quick outs for the Hops.
But right now he's just done a nice job. He has not thrown anything in the middle of the plate. Had it again in on the fist.
That'll bring up Stephen Desi, the right fielder. Desi hitting .280. A couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. Desi out of the University of Tampa, just drafted in the 25th round this year.
You're talking about a program at the Division II level that's been outstanding. The University of Tampa, since the 70s, I believe they've won 7 national championships.
They have since '77, Keith. They beat Catawba this year to win it again, the second while Desi was there. He also was a part of the national title team as a sophomore in 2013. Joe Urzo has done just a terrific job at the University of Tampa. And Desi is caught looking. Boy, what a quick and impressive inning for Lanphier as the Hops go in order. To the second we go. No score. Now, this is all part of the Hawthorne District in Portland as we bring you the Sunday Showcase here on the American Sports Network. You spent a little bit of time this weekend in Portland, you and your wife, and really enjoyed it.
Oh, man, it was just outstanding. It was a bucket list for me. 50th state. Made that I got to all 50 states by coming out and got to see awful lot. This is a gorgeous part of the country. If you've never been, I would highly recommend it. Come out and catch some Hops baseball.
How about that? Your 50th state.
It is.
You've hit them all.
I've hit them all.
Good for you. Touch them all, Mr. Moreland. Sherman LaCruz leads things off, and he looks at a fastball up high, ball 1. LaCruz hitting .232, hasn't homered yet, has 6 runs batted in. Chopper off the plate. Tough play for Smith. Bare hands it. What a throw.
Well, Smith had one decision here, Dave. There was only one chance he felt like to get an out here was to barehand this. He lays back. To be a good fielder, you got to use your feet. Watch him lay back right here. Now set his feet. Boom. That right foot sets, catches it barehanded, and just gets him in front of the head first slide. Young players, I know you think you get there quicker, but running straight through that bag, I promise you there, when they do all the timing networks, you're quicker at a dead sprint because it takes a little speed off to lay your body out to dive.
I couldn't agree with you more, and here's the argument I've always used as Tyler Sanchez steps in. If going in head first saved you some time, then you would see everyone who runs the 100 meters in the Olympics dive for the finish line head first.
Accelerate through.
Got to keep moving.
Got to keep accelerating because you've got to slow your body down to dive. Now, to avoid a tag, absolutely.
Yeah. Tyler Sanchez is the batter, as you see, hitting .241. Has one home run, excuse me, and just 2 runs batted in. Well, these 2 pitchers are working quickly and effectively so far. This one hit well to center field. Nerrier going back, and he's got room in front of the track to make the play. Now, the manager of the Indians is Tim Hewlett, of course, former big leaguer with the White Sox, with the Orioles, and also with the Cardinals. 13 years in the big leagues.
Played against him an awful lot during his time. Could do a lot of different things. Very good utility player. Brought to the table, could swing the bat, had a little pop in his bat. I guarantee you he's a good guy to teach you to tell you how to play the game, and that's what this is about at this level. There's all kinds of preparation. There's all kinds of things you want to do. You're trying to teach guys how to play together, how to win, but most importantly, how to play the game.
Well, he's had a lot of success, Hewlett. 2-time Northwest League Manager of the Year. Here is Diego Cedeno from Venezuela. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Cedeno hitting just .241 with no home runs, 7 runs batted in. You'll notice a lot of the numbers that we give you saying, boy, they don't have many home runs or many RBIs. Well, it's a short season, A-ball. They haven't played that many games yet.
Yeah, they don't have a month under their belt at this point.
No.
And you look at Hernandez, unusual part of his delivery is he works from the first base side of the river and really steps across his body. It develops a really nice angle and an arm slot for a guy that's not that big in stature, but he gets across his body in a good changeup, and it's really tough on right-handers to get that movement.
Line drive speared by Ozuna, the second baseman, and the Indians go in order in the second. To the bottom of the second we go. Still no score from Hillsboro. Hey, before the Hops come to bat in the bottom of the second, let's welcome in the third member of our broadcast team, Ashley Bullington. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Dave. You know, guys, we've been to some really unique, neat places so far on the Sunday Night Showcase. But I would say that Ron Tonkin Field and the Hops have a pretty special setup here. From every seat in the entire stadium, you can see what's going on in the game, and you can tell these fans are into this game from the first pitch to the last inning. No matter what, they are cheering on their Hops team and ready to go. And you can see the field from 360 degrees. Every concession stand, every seat, as well as out in the berm, which has lining on it that you can see through it. It's honestly a baseball town here in Hillsboro in a big league atmosphere at a minor league park. Also, a quick update on Darius Day. The trainer said it's his left shoulder. It got caught up in the dirt, and that they're going to be rehabbing it and getting it ready to go, getting him ready to go back again. But right now he's out. So, guys, back up to you.
Okay, thanks, Ashley. As Trevor Mitsui bounces one down to third, Forbes makes that play pretty well on the backhand side. And so Darius Day, remember, on that tag back at first base.
Yeah, it looked like it was his elbow.
Yeah, it did.
But he got a piece of the shoulder.
I guess the shoulder, you know, diving back in with that hand, and you can see ice already on that right shoulder.
Yeah, and that's a throwing arm, so that makes a huge difference as well. He could be down a while after that.
Well, he looks dejected. Cheer up, young man. Long season, long career. Luis Veras is the batter. He's hitting .269, a couple of home runs, 9 runs batted in. Veras from the Dominican Republic. And a bouncer out to second. Moore's got that. So far, 5 up, 5 down for the Hops.
Really has done an outstanding job as Lampier of moving the ball around. He's got a little more sink than we anticipated. His fastball, as we noted, around 90 miles an hour, but he's got a lot of balls on the ground so far. He's kept the ball down.
Yeah, out of the 5 putouts so far, 4 have been on the ground. The other one, a strikeout looking. So the Hops haven't even put the ball in the outfield yet. Here's Zach Offpower hitting just a .182.
Well, many of you may know Zach Offpower. Second team all-conference safety at Stanford.
Yeah.
I mean, a good football player. It's going to be an interesting transition for Zach as a guy that played college football myself and college baseball. When you go out and play a sport dedicated just to one sport, it will change his life a little bit. I think that he will see a lot of growth in his baseball abilities because he's had to spend a lot of time in the weight room. That doesn't feel good right there off of his front foot. But when you spend a lot of time, and see this ball coming out, that didn't catch front foot, that caught front shin.
Yeah. Ouch. Well, you see the manager of the Hops, Shelly Duncan. If the name Duncan rings a bell, well, obviously he played. But his dad, Dave Duncan, longtime pitching coach with Tony La Russa. And Shelly, by the way, played for the Yankees, the Indians, and Tampa Bay. First year managing at any level. Really intriguing guy. Really loves doing this. Swing and a miss, and down goes Hoffpower. And the Hops haven't gotten it out of the infield yet with 2 strikeouts. And we go to the third. No score. Hey fans, are you ready for your team your way? Check out the all-new AmericanSportsNet.com for great storytelling and features on players and teams across the minor leagues and colleges that you care about. AmericanSportsNet.com. We're in Hillsboro, Oregon. Boy, beautiful. The 50th state for Keith to visit. You're 5 ahead of me.
Well, it is a gorgeous part of the country.
It is.
All the way out from Seaside to the Columbia Gorge up to Walla Walla, Washington. And then, of course, you go down through Beaverton, who is really close to it. It was really close to Hillsboro here. And then down to Corvallis for Oregon State, Eugene, and Bend. Great part of the country.
Taekwon Forbes hits one off the handle. And it goes right to the first baseman, Mitsui, who plays it to the pitcher. And one quickly out here in the third. You know, it's really, I've been to Portland before. I was here one time for an NBA game with the Trailblazers and the Nuggets. But we came in at night and left right after the game, so I didn't really get to see much. And, man, what a beautiful downtown area. It's kind of like just set into the hill with pine trees all around. It's just one of the coolest looks you've ever seen anywhere.
Well, one of the most historic rivers in American history, too. Lewis and Clark in the Columbia River.
Yep. Doug Votolato is the batter. He's hitting 159.
Hernandez is just outstanding to watch. He pitches from the first base side of the rubber. We're going to try to ISO what I'm talking about. And he really steps almost into the third base dugout and then comes right back across his body. It doesn't really show it from behind near as much as it does from the front view, but you just don't see a lot of professional pitchers do that because more times than not they try to stay on line.
Right.
But his repetition allows him to do that. And he's got an outstanding change to go with it.
Does he get a little more leverage by doing that?
He does get a little more leverage, but from the side, it's hard to see. But this front foot comes down way inside to the third base side. His momentum carries him across. But that allows to get him a better arm slot and allow him to get to arm side command. And that would be away from a left-hander into a right-hander. See it right there with that fastball.
Well, it's effective. His second strikeout.
Well, he's in total command right here. Watch this ball run away from him at the last minute. You see the movement? See him out in front, challenging him upstairs. He knows right there, got a K. When that ball comes out of your hand, sometimes as a pitcher, I got him. You can tell.
Yeah, I saw what you were talking about, though, when you look at that crossover step, like right there. So his plant foot is on the rubber on the first base side. His front foot, when it lands on the other side of the rubber.
It does. It's got an unusual spot, and there's a great changeup to go with it. It's difficult to pick the ball up. There's no question about it.
Leon Byrd is the batter, batting for the first time. He came in for the injured Darius Day in the first inning. And a big breaking ball that got away from him, and it's 1-2.
Which is a work in progress. The slider and the curve, not quite there yet. But the fastball changeup is getting very close.
That was a good time to try to break that in. 0-2 with 2 out. Well, he comes right back with a fastball, and Byrd goes down swinging. So now 3 strikeouts for Carlos Hernandez.
He just climbs the ladder again with the fastball right here. Nothing fancy about this. Reaches back, goes upstairs. Byrd can't catch up to it.
We welcome you back to Hillsboro. No score and quite a pitcher's duel so far. K.L. Wambacher is the general manager here. And K.L., thanks for inviting us to your beautiful ballpark.
It's our pleasure to have you guys here and showcase this beautiful facility, beautiful city, and awesome fan base.
All right, so it's the Hops. Why in the world did you call it the Hops?
It was a tough decision trying to come up with a new name, moving the team from Yakima. We were the Bears. You can't be more plain than that.
Right.
So it's a nod to the agriculture history to Hillsboro. They used to have hop farms here a long time ago. Oregon's the #2 producer of hops in the country. The baseball term with short hop, long hop, crow hop.
Well, that makes sense.
It's easy to say. Been to the Hops game, seen the Hops play. And then once we had the character developed, it was like bingo. That's the one. The characters selling minor league baseball, huge in merchandise. And so we've made Barley an all-star.
And it's a pretty good, you can see right there with the logo.
Love it.
Barley becomes really fun to be involved in. The area has really picked up.
These are for us?
Those are for you.
Oh, my
They fell in
gosh,
love
thank
with baseball
you
in this
so
area.
much. Thank
They
you.
really are.
It's a great sports town. You've got the Blazers, the Timbers, the Winterhawks. Professional baseball was here for 100 years. So there's great baseball fans. They're into the games. They've embraced us from day one with open arms, and we're just so thrilled to be here.
Okay, I'll leave it to me. When you were talking about the name Hops, I immediately went to the beer.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about short hop and long hop and things like that, a baseball term, but thanks for bringing that in.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of beer, you guys have your own beer?
We do. Bridgeport Brewery, the oldest craft brewery in Portland, and we actually have some of these for you as well.
Wait a minute.
So this has been a huge hit, home run, if you will.
Look at that.
Bridgeport Brewsies in downtown Portland, and it's made specifically just for us.
Long Ball Ale.
Yeah.
Huh? All right, we need there it is. Now we got the cold version here, Keith.
Yeah.
Those have been sitting out in the sun for a while, not good, but man, this is cold. We need
There's even a hops opener if you need it.
We got to try it, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it'd be rude not to. All right, so let me pop the top on that. All right.
Let me get a good teaspoon.
That's pretty good. That's not pretty good. That's really good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Forgot the third.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you should have brought one for yourself. Well, KL, tell us a little bit about this this ballpark, this team. Obviously, one thing that we've noticed since being here this weekend is these fans are passionate about the game of baseball.
They are. You know, baseball is the centerpiece here. Where a lot of minor league facilities, it's kind of the secondary reason why people come to the games, and that's what's been so exciting for us. These are sports fans. They're baseball fans. They're into the game. You know, top of the ninth, our pitcher is finishing out the game. They're up clapping for him with 2 strikes.
And the first hit of the game.
I mean, as you can hear right now, I mean, first hit of the game, and this place really comes alive. So
360 view too. I mean, there's a lot of people out in the berms, very family oriented with great concessions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of things in concession. I think you brought something else from the concession stand as well. Did you?
Let's check this out, guys.
Yeah. Show
what
me.
in the world is this?
This is our newest creation by Chef Dale. Dessert nachos, so fresh fried tortilla chips, cinnamon sugar. A fresh berry compote that comes from fresh berries.
Loaded, folks.
Fresh Oregon berries, fresh whipped
with
cream.
Cheese?
That's caramel.
No, it is caramel. It's
drizzled on.
Delicious.
Yeah,
You're going to have to finish out.
I've had so many of these.
Oh. Well, a double now to follow the single by Smith by Kaylees, and all of a sudden, with nobody out, runners at second and third. You came at the right time.
Yeah, I'm the good luck charm for the team. I've been in it for it's my 15th year, and last year we won our first championship. So the move has been good for us on the field and off the field.
You guys have a split season, first half, second half. First half coming to a close pretty soon, and you're tied for first place.
Yeah, we just moved into first place last night with Eugene. We're starting to play really well. Our bats have come alive. Our pitching has been unbelievable all season long. It should be with a Cy Young winner teaching these young kids, but now we're starting to hit the ball, so it's becoming pretty fun.
Yeah, your pitching is #1 in the league by far, almost a run differential in your ERA compared to anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, Doug he's been with us now 4 years, 1 in Yakima, his 3rd year here. He's unbelievable with the young pitchers. He's not a big mechanics guy with them. He's just big on their approach and more the mental side of pitching. And as you know, with these young kids, you know, they can be all over the place.
When you go with that, to take that a little further, as an organization, winning is important, but it's about the atmosphere of the fans when they come to the ballpark.
Yeah.
I stood outside today. We were trying to get everything together and watched most of these 5,000 coming to the stadium. They're excited about being here.
Yeah.
You can tell that this is an event. It's not like that they're just coming to the ballpark to see a ball game. They're come to enjoy themselves in a great atmosphere.
And you know, and every night being a new team, we have you know, half the fans is probably their first time here. When they walk up the stairs, see the openness of the field, I mean, it's cool to see their sense of arrival. I mean, they are excited to be here. They're into the games. The kids are running around, catching foul balls, playing in the inflatables, getting autographs from players. I mean, I grew up as a kid going to minor league games in Tacoma, and a lot of my childhood memories were at the ballpark with my dad or friends, and you know, so now we're in that position to create these memories, and we take that very seriously. Everything we designed here with the fan experience is centered around that. You know, making memories with your family, sitting in the stands with your family, spending time together, getting autographs, that sort of thing.
Don't know if it's deep enough. Tagging from third, Smith. He will score, and your Hops are ahead.
This interview may go like 4 or 5 innings now with this.
Yeah, you just keep going.
When these guys are on the road, there's a lot of events that take place here, not just Hops baseball.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that and the use of this facility.
You know, when the city built the facility, their goal in it was to use this year-round and use it as a community gathering place, use it as a community asset. And so they program it in the off-season. We don't have a lot to do with that. They had 330 events here last year, including our games. We hosted University of Oregon this year with our first D1 game here. We've got a few D1 games next year. They do football, high school football, soccer, lacrosse, 5K races, concerts, corporate events, photo shoots with Nike and Adidas. So it's pretty incredible to see the use. I mean, we just come to work. Our office is here. We come to work, and there's a softball tournament going on. We had the Team USA Juniors fast pitch team play here last week. So it's pretty neat to see all those events here.
Paired here with the Diamondbacks, whose philosophy in the minor leagues is different than some major league teams. I mean, they love their minor league teams to learn how to win. And we were talking with Shelley Duncan about that before the game. He said, look, we do a lot of preparation. In that time, we're trying to develop the players. Once the game starts, though, we're trying to win.
I love Shelley's philosophy there. Mike Bell, our farm director, is very big on building a winning culture in the minor leagues. So when they get to the big leagues, you know, they know how to perform in big moments. They know how to help their teams. They know how to chase pennants. They know how to play in the playoffs. So having that philosophy from day one on the way up, I think, makes a huge difference. And Shelley has taken that a whole nother level with his two-pronged approach during the day. And I think it's the right mentality with these young players, is they can flip on the switch for practice and really work on their skills, and then be able to flip that switch on for the game and really push their competitiveness.
Yeah, boy, terrific stuff here. And you know, these fans, maybe because the Portland Beavers left and then all of a sudden they were without baseball for a couple of years, and they have adopted this team in this area. And it is a little bit unlike, not to say anything negative about other minor league places, but it's a little bit different in that this is just, a lot of it is just baseball.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think having, you know, losing a team and going through that for 2+ years, and when it came back, it's like, okay, we can't lose it again.
Yeah.
And having that mindset as fans is huge. And we didn't know if they'd come out to Hillsboro, but they're making the drive every night, filling this ballpark. So it's been unbelievable for us.
Thanks for the hat. Thanks for the beer.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for the goodies.
Thanks for being
and
here.
thanks for your hospitality.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, KL. What a terrific place. If you're ever up in the Pacific Northwest, you got to pay a visit right here to Hillsboro, Oregon. Well, here are the two owners of the Hillsboro Hops, Mike and Laura McMurray. We'll visit with them a little bit later on. They are two owners that love the game of baseball, love Hillsboro, and really don't want to go on camera, really don't want to talk about it. They are the most nondescript owners you've ever met.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. And terrific people. And so we're so glad to be in their backyard here, and we thank them for their hospitality. And when you know, the Hops have the 1-0 lead as we head to the 4th inning. At the bottom of the inning, we'll visit with Bob Gebhardt, who is the Vice President and Special Assistant to the GM with the Diamondbacks. And I know Bob Gebhardt from our days together with the Colorado Rockies. He built the Blake Street Bombers, one of the greatest offensive teams in the history of baseball.
And there's no question about that. There was an awful lot of good baseball players there.
Hey.
The humidor wasn't in effect either.
No, it wasn't. 4 guys hit 40 home runs in 1 year. It was a terrific lineup from top to bottom of the Rockies. We'll visit with Geb about that and what his duties are as a special assistant to the GM. Kaylee's took one off the shoulder. He says he's fine. The batter is Jason Irizarry. And he's facing Hernandez, who has just been electric, allowing just the lead single, a bunt single by Darius Day. And since then, he's retired 10 guys in order.
He's done a nice job. He's really struggling again with this command of his breaking ball. The slider or the curve have not been good, but his fastball and changeup command have been outstanding.
How about these hats they gave us?
Outstanding. How about that logo?
I love that logo, that Hops logo. It's so cool. So neat. Well, base hit by Irizarry to lead things off in the 4th.
Oh, this is mechanically a perfect swing right here on a fastball away. You see the logo right here. Outstanding logo for the Hops. Just leveled this fastball, though.
Did you even think about short hop, long hop when you were?
I thought about beer only.
Yeah, so did I.
I just felt barley and
What
hops.
does that say about us?
Adult beverage. That's what it says.
It's happy hour. Dylan Moore. Oh, this one giving a ride to center field, backing up Nerriere, and he's got it. Well, that ball was smoked by Moore, but pretty much right at Nerriere.
Boy, caught it right on the head of the bat. Really good swing right there. Well, if you're going to brew beer, you're going to have to find some material out of this part of the Northeast, either the state of Washington, the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of hops grown in this area. Most of it, as a matter of fact.
How about you? I think I'm going to wear this hat.
That's a great logo.
Yeah. Be featuring that the rest of the game. Jamie Potts, the batter. He struck out his first time up. There's Irizarry going back, and you look at some of these fans enjoying a long ball ale. Kind of interesting. They developed that beer, didn't think it really take off, and now they sell it in supermarkets.
Everywhere.
It's become really popular here in the Pacific Northwest. And this Hops logo, this hat, we'll show you more as we interview both Bob Gebhardt and then Derek Ladnier, the director of scouting for the Diamondbacks. You'll see more of the Hops logo throughout the night. But it has really caught on nationwide. They say they ship their merchandise all over the country. Swing and a miss. Strike two, and then a slide by Irizarry that was eerily far away from the bag. Boy, he just got stuck in the ground.
Yeah, he tried to get going right here. As you can see him, he knew he had to get down. He just started his slide too early and tried to get his left hand in and out right there. When you're not used to playing on field turf, you do know you slide a little further, but you can't slide that far. He started about 15, 18 foot out instead of 8 foot out. I think he was going to be out either way.
Yeah. And a breaking ball that just missed. Now watch how far he starts this slide.
He sees right here, peeks in, says, oh, I got to get down, but that's a little far. Now, he was going to make it. It was going to carry all the way, too, but he was slowing down.
He was getting to this swim move, start crawling for the bag. And a swing and a miss, and down goes Potts for the second time. So the Indians are gone, and we go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0 Hops. Well, we're talking a lot about the Hops, and we're talking about our Sunday showcase here of minor league baseball in Hillsboro, Oregon. Also known for their coffee and for their berries, where you can go out and pick your own. Blueberries, strawberries, any kind of berries you can imagine. Well, here's one of my very good friends, Bob Gebhardt, who is now special assistant to the general manager with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Geb, good to see you again, my friend.
Dave, always good to see you.
You know, he was the GM when I was with the Rockies, and he's the guy that built the Blake Street Bombers, who we were talking about this before the game a little bit. Some of the most fun I've ever had at watching those guys just hit the ever-loving daylights out of the ball.
Well, you know, it was a great experience to be the first general manager and be at the foundation of putting that together and the way it turned out, acquiring various directions we went to put the Blake Street Bombers together. And, you know, unfortunately, we couldn't find the pitching we needed to be
tough,
as competitive as we wanted to. But, you know, it was fun to watch because, as you know, we never felt we were out of a game. We talked before the game, and you'd be down by 3 or 4 in the 8th or 9th, and
it wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's right. You still had a chance to win the game.
Vin Scully had the best line ever after a 16-15 Rockies victory over the Dodgers. I saw Scully out in the parking lot after the game. He was all bent over, and he looked at me and he said, "I don't know how you do it, kid." And I said, "Do what?" He said, "Call that many games at Coors Field where the fat lady never sings."
Never sings.
Well, Bob Gebhardt, now the special assistant. What does that mean? What are your duties?
Well, several things, Dave. During the spring and prior to the amateur draft, I run around the country and see some of the top high school and college talent, help the scouting department with that. At the same time, I worked in the player development, trying to get out and see all of our minor league clubs and write notes and do computer work and on how each one of our teams can be improved, how our players can become better players, with better instruction. And then I help the general manager with trades and the trade deadline. And so just a variety of things that really keep me young and keep me going.
Trade deadline's coming up soon, so between now and then, you're pretty busy.
I am. The last 3 weeks, I've been running around the country trying to see some potential free agents at the end of the year that clubs might want to trade before the trading deadline. And and see if something works. And then I'll also, between that, I'll run out and see some amateur players.
Yeah, but you're also taking a long look at your organization as well, of what y'all got internally, what y'all are doing internally. I know as an ex-player, when the guys came in, when the brass, as we used to say, and you're the brass came in, it was a little bit different. It was a little bit different feel because it's a different set of eyes.
You're right, and I just came in today for this one day, and I'll come back in August for 4 or 5 days, and I spend time with the players. You try to figure out who can play and who can't, and also spend time with the instructors, the coaches and managers, because in a lot of cases with high school and college players, they haven't had a lot of instruction and just a lot of things we have to do to teach them how to be professional ball players. And unfortunately, they won't all play in the major leagues, but at this point in time, none of us know which ones they are.
Yeah, but it's not, and a lot of it is not always just on the field. There's a lot of things that go with it on and off the field. It's just how to handle yourself. How do you become a professional athlete?
Yeah. And, we have to look for talent, and that's a starting point.
Yeah.
And then what happens from the time they're 18 or 17, we sign them until they're 23, 24, and possibly major league players. And we have to do everything we can. And playing in a facility like this is great for player development because the kids come out of great institutions now that have good athletic fields. And what the McMurrays have done here with this ballpark and KL Wambacher, the GM, is just amazing. And our kids love to play here.
You were part of at Coors Field. You were and helped in the design and the move from Mile High Stadium to Coors Field. And then the other thing that a lot of people don't remember you for, and I certainly do, is during that strike of '94, you were sitting there watching little kids play, and you said, we need to improve Little League fields. Right. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we're paying these players, and you know yourself the great money the big league players make, and we just felt we wanted to find a way to help fans get in the ballpark and the kids to play in better fields. So we started building fields. The players contributed, and we had a foundation that matched the money. We built, when I was there, about 50 fields.
Can you hang around for a second?
Certainly.
All right, we'll visit more with Bob Gebhardt when we return to Hillsboro in a moment. Well, we're in Hillsboro, Oregon tonight. We go to the other side of the country next week on the Sunday Showcase here on ASN as the Ironbirds of Aberdeen will be playing the Valley Cats of Tri-City. That's in Troy, New York, near Albany, New York. And, of course, the Tri-City Valley Cats are all part of the Houston Astros organization. And, man, aren't the Astros doing well this year? Big turnaround for Houston this season. We're visiting with Bob Gebhardt, who is the special assistant to the GM of the Diamondbacks, also vice president. And, Bob, as you look at this team and these young players, if you could take any time at all, and I know you do, what is your message to these guys at this level?
I have a saying that I use a lot of times. Ever since you were a kid, you wanted to be a professional ball player, and now you have a uniform. So make the best of it. So, 10 years down the road, if you didn't become a major league player, you at least gave it
your shot.
Gave it the best shot you had. So I use that expression a lot.
I'm not trying to date you, but you've been involved in baseball over 50 years now, and you still have that passion for the game, don't you?
I do, and this is my 51st year, and I've worn a lot of different hats, and I still enjoy it to come out here and see these young kids play and the energy they bring to the game. It brings back memories for all of us that back when we played, and it's such a great opportunity for them, and it's our obligation, our duty, to give them the best facility we can to play in, the best instruction, and all the things. The teaching that we have to do to make these guys, give them a chance to become major league players.
Shelley Duncan, first-year manager here, first time he's ever managed. Boy, he has a lot of enthusiasm, though.
He really does, and you wonder where he got it from. I think it might have been from his dad and all those St. Louis days and Oakland days.
Absolutely. Dave Duncan, longtime pitching coach, even though he never pitched.
I know it, a catcher.
Catcher, but boy, what a great pitching coach.
He really was, and of course he was with Tony for all those years, Tony La Russa, and played a big part, I think, in Tony being inducted into the Hall of Fame, which is the top honor in our business.
Pretty good to have Doug Drabeck by his side too, a Cy Young Award winner, teaching these young pitchers.
This is Doug's third year with us, and and we like him at this level. He certainly has earned the right to be a pitching coach at a higher level, but he has such a great relationship with these young kids. And you know, we forget sometimes that they come out of the Latin countries or out of high school or college and have had very little instruction. So Doug has the patience and the know-how to really help them.
And I think where Doug probably brings a lot to the table too is his mental aspect, because nobody was more mentally prepared in the way he went out to compete. And you know, one of the things that I've heard you talk about is that we all love the game and y'all doing a good job getting the facility. You still got to find that player that wants to go compete and do it the right way. And that's what he brings to the table.
He was a bulldog on the mound, as you well know.
Sure.
You played against him, and I think he spreads that to the pitchers he touches, and really is a valuable part of this franchise.
Well, you look at this facility, you look at the way the minor leagues, we've been all over the country already this year, and every facility we go to, Keith just keeps saying, they weren't like this when I played in the minor leagues. Everywhere we go. Well, it wasn't like this in short A season, that's for sure. I mean, these ballparks are fantastic for these minor leaguers.
You know, they are, and they've gotten better and better the last 15, 20 years. And, you know, when we played, your locker was a spike.
Bus ride away.
A spike.
A bus ride away.
Spiked to the wall with a piece of tape underneath with your name on it. But now it's been upgraded, and we needed it.
Yeah, boy, it's terrific. And you can see these fans coming out. I mean, that's the other thing that we've noticed is the fans really are coming out for minor league ball.
Yeah, they are, and McMurray's have done a great job. They spent 12 years in Yakima, and it was a tough situation for the city, the county, for the McMurrays, and we stayed with them for those 12 years, and now we were rewarded with this tremendous franchise.
Well, Gab, it's so good to see you again. Give my best to Nancy and Angie and the rest of your family. And I just can't tell you what an honor it is for me to be back with you again. You're always my fave.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bob Gebhardt, former general manager of the Rockies and now the special assistant to the GM with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Thanks. We'll let you get back to work. So that's Bob Gebhardt. What a terrific guy. Keith, you know, I just go back to the days with the Rockies, and he was so instrumental in all of that. He started before they ever even became a team. This was a guy that when you looked at the Rockies, I mean, he built Coors Field. He built the Blake Street Bombers. He was the one that got Andres Galarraga. He got all those guys through the expansion draft. And when they won the wild card, just a couple of years in, they started in 93, they won the wild card in 95. 6 of those guys from the expansion draft were on that big league team.
Sure were, and they were, it was an incredible run. Nobody'd seen anything like it in the history of baseball. I mean, you go back to the 1960 in the Mets, and how it took them 10 years to get anywhere close to a playoff team.
Right.
You look at the Toronto Blue Jays and the teams that came on, and the Seattle Mariners, it took them 12 years to get close. And all of a sudden, 2 years into to a new franchise, they're in playoff baseball.
Yep. The Blake Street Bombers. Man, they had Vinny Castilla, Andres Galarraga, Dante Bichette, Ellis Burks, Larry Walker, Eric Young, the second baseman, who stole over 100 bases one year. And there's a swing and a miss. And the Indians are gone in the 5th. We're already halfway through in a 1-0 game as the Hops are leading the Indians.
Well, just an outstanding fastball. You can see him reach back right here, cross his body, great location. Just threw it right by him.
Minor League Baseball Sunday Showcase on the American Sports Network is brought to you by CoCareers.com. Well, we welcome you back to Ron Tonkin Field here in Hillsboro, Oregon. Yeah, not just baseball, but a chance to learn more about dogs and bunnies and all kinds of things. And a chance to enjoy some chocolate treats. We're still enjoying those strawberry, blueberry, whipped cream nachos that they brought up.
How about the caramel? It was good, too.
Man. Big breaking ball in there for Lanphier. Here's Lanphier, who has just been terrific for the Indians. And yet, he allowed those back-to-back hits and a sac fly for the only run in the game. Swing and a foul back on the screen by Hoffpower.
He's thrown first pitch strikes, Dave, to the 12 of the 15 hitters that have come to the plate in the ballgame to this point.
Wow.
So he's attacked the strike zone. Good combination of pitches. His breaking ball has been much better than I anticipated. He's got a good sinker to go with it and good command of his fastball, but his breaking ball has been good today.
Unlike Hernandez, he is more of a traditional straight over the top pitcher. 2 hopper to Forbes. 1 gone in the 5th. So Lanfear has given up just 2 hits. Unfortunately for him and for the Indians, they were back-to-back. And that set the table in the 3rd inning.
And one of them was an extra base hit.
Right. A double by Kaylees, a single by Smith, and then a sac fly by Alcantara, and that's the difference in the ballgame. 1-0 in favor of the Hops. Jeff Smith, the batter. Smith got the parade going for the Hops in the 3rd with that lead single. He has scored the game's only run. Hillsboro right now tied with Eugene in the south of the Northwest League. In the north, Everett has pulled away, and I don't think there's any way now for Spokane to catch them with about a week to go in the first half. The way they do it in the Northwest League is the winners of the North and South, they're in the first half. And if the same winner wins in the second half of the season, then they go to the second place finisher. There's a strike to Smith. Hillsboro won it all last year. So then they have a playoff at the end of the year in September. And there's ball 4. So Smith aboard for the second time.
That was the first time we've seen him not really attack the strike zone. Being very careful with Smith. Jeff Smith. Just signing, 30th round pick in the 2015 draft. First year as a pro, so he has very few at-bats coming into the ballgame. So a lot of these guys are making, not their debuts, but you're talking about first half and second half day. A lot of these guys are just now coming on because the amateur draft a little over a month ago, everybody had to be signed before the 7th of this month. So you'll see guys now starting to make their debuts. A lot of them have been down in either Florida or Arizona with the instructional league or extended, trying to get their body back in shape, ready for baseball.
So here is Jose Kaylees. He is the catcher for the Hops. He is from Venezuela, and that reminds me of Andres Galarraga, who was also from Venezuela. But you know who else is from Venezuela? Salvador Perez, the outstanding all-star catcher of the Kansas City Royals. And they're both from the same hometown of Valencia, Venezuela. Kaylees is 2 years younger than Perez. And he drills this one into right center field. Long run for the right fielder Potts, who makes the grab. Boy, that saved a run, perhaps.
That was an outstanding play. Turning, did a nice job turning over his right shoulder and just running through it right there. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. I know about yours, but when it left the bat, I thought it was over his head, no question. A good reaction. See him turning back to the inside, makes a good turn right here, running through the baseball. Makes the catch right before you get to the track. Saved a run.
There have been a couple of balls hit hard to center field that I thought would carry farther and didn't even get to the track. Here's Alcantara. Fastball in there for a strike. Alcantara with a sac fly that scored Smith in the 3rd. So he officially doesn't have an at-bat, but does have an RBI. And in this series, he is 5 for 10, and he has 7 RBIs in the series. He has 9 for the year.
Well, he had some struggles. He was struggling offensively. He's done a nice job coming back. He's got to develop some more strength. I mean, he does everything so well. He handles the bat, doesn't strike out a lot, can bunt, runs well. He's got an outstanding arm. He's a big-time prospect, but he's got to find a way to get stronger offensively. His bat speed's pretty good.
There's a base hit into right center field. In fact, it'll get over Potts. Smith rounding 3rd. He'll come home to score. And all the way to 3rd goes Alcantara. And now the ball gets away, and here he comes. be a triple and an RBI and then an error to allow Alcantara to score.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about. He's got to get stronger. He drove this ball in the gap. Potts took a bad angle, and then watch Bird miss the cutoff man right here. So when you come up to make that throw, and you miss that cutoff man, that allowed Alcantara all the way around. It'll be a triple RBI and scores on what I would think is E8 on the throw in on the relay. Just like that, the Hops with a 3-0 lead.
Well, Leon Bird played center field for the Rice Owls
Sure did.
as a junior. Then in his senior year, he moved to shortstop. Played second base last night and back out there in center field today. Down too low to Zach Nerriere. So it is a triple and an RBI, and then coming home on the throwing error by Bird. 3-0 in favor of the Hops. Fouled up into the crowd. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nerriere. Boy, the bottom third of this order has really come through for the Hops.
They've done an outstanding job. They've swung the bat very well. And what is a walk? You walk one batter in a ball game. A lot of times he scores. We've already seen it in this inning.
There's a chopper up the middle. Moore's got it. His throw to first in time, and that'll do it. But the bottom third of the order comes through one more time. They have accounted for all 3 runs for the Hops. 3-0 as we head to the 6th, and we'll talk to Derek Ladnier, the scouting director for the Diamondbacks, next. Well, how about that bottom third of the order for the Hillsboro Hops? They've accounted for all 3 runs and all of their hits. All 3 hits coming from the bottom 3 guys in the lineup. Derek Ladnier now joins us, scouting director for the Arizona Diamondbacks. We're just catching up about the Royals, who, went to the World Series last year, and you were part of developing that team in the early 90s, or early 2000s, I should say, turn of this century, and a lot of those young guys that came to fruition, and man, that was exciting.
It was fun to see, all of the hard work and see those young men that you drafted, and you sat in their houses and you talked to them about being at that time a Royal, and then to see them in the World Series and almost win it was great satisfaction for the staff and everybody.
Talk to us a little bit about what a scouting director does for a major league team.
It's a grind. I mean, people think, what do you do during the off season? There's really no off season. I mean, as soon as the draft was over, the guys, they started going to the perfect games. They started going to, different showcases. I just left the Tournament of Stars and the Team USA, and then seeing the Cuban national team, and guys are up in the Cape, and you're just getting ready for next year. I came on in December, so I was a little bit late getting on, so we had to play speed up, and I thought the guys they did a tremendous job of getting me up to par with where we are and where we needed to be.
So really the general manager, when you get to the draft and then when you get to the trading deadline, he relies on you guys and your department for all the information he has about all the possibilities he may make either in the draft or in the trades, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's about communication and them putting trust in you to make the right decisions as to the players that we're going to select. I mean, there's a lot of internal discussions and, a tier effect of the selection process. But at the end of the day, you get to make the selection, and the general manager gives you his blessings. And, like I said, there's a lot of conversation, a lot of debate. But ultimately, they allow you to do your job. Dave Stewart was outstanding. And he said, this is your gig. This is the reason we hired you. You've had success doing this. Let's do it again. And I was excited about it. I was really excited.
And the other part of that, people don't realize, you spend a lot of time scouting your own self, too. Within your organization, and what you're doing within the organization.
No doubt about it, because you're trying to build. You're building a team, not only a team on the field, but you're building a team of members that are having to share the same vision of winning a World Series. And a lot of guys in that room, they've got that type of experience. And then you got Tony La Russa, Dave Stewart, DeJohn Watson. I mean, all these people have been involved with successful franchises, and when you put all those minds together, you know, you hope at the end of the day you do make championship-type decisions.
One of the things I've noticed right now as a young man on the mound, Carlos Hernandez has been outstanding today.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, he's really been pounding the strike zone. His fastball's been crisp. His changeup has been outstanding. And then I noticed in the last inning, he started getting his curveball over. So I mean, he's actually getting stronger as the game goes on. And that's what you're looking for. There was a changeup for a strike.
Derek, as you know, everybody in baseball now has a strong presence in Latin America. And a lot of these guys that get signed early, 14, 15, 16 years of age. And then here they come to short season A ball. And then before you know it, we're seeing them in the big leagues.
Yeah, and you know, just to give props to this place that we're at today, this is the first time I've ever been here. And, you know, when these kids, they get a chance to come play in this type of an environment, some of them in their first year in the States, some of them their first year, you know, in the draft. I can't think of a better place for them to start their career.
And then to have Doug Drabeck as their pitching coach.
Exactly.
Not
yeah.
bad, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're going to bring in a Cy Young Award winner to be your pitching coach. Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, Derek, as you look at it, I mean, scouts sometimes are those forgotten guys. They just sit there with the radar guns and the charts and all of that. And I've always thought that they were just the blue bloods and the guys that were the real workhorses in baseball. And so my hat's off to you and your staff for all the hard work that they do.
I appreciate that. You know, I got my scouting started with the Atlanta Braves back in the early 90s, and that's what it was all about. And I was trained by some of the best in the game. And when John Sherholt said, you know, the scouts are the backbone of the organization, because without them bringing in quality talent, then the organization really has nothing. So you rely solely on them to tell you who can play and who can't play, because there's no way you can be everywhere at the same time. You got to know which ballparks to be in and when to be there.
Let me ask you this then. When you're looking at talent, scouting talent, how do you project a kid who's 16, 17, 18 years old and to think what he might be 3 or 4 years from now?
It depends on the physical size of the player, the skill level of the player, what type of program they're coming from. And I don't want to say there's this magical formula or wand that you wave, but you have to, you know, look at it and see where he's coming from and where do you think he'll ultimately be, because, you know, sometimes we miss on him.
Thanks for the visit. Yeah, appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thanks. All the best to you and to the Diamondbacks.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Derek Ladnier, what a great guy and a great scouting director. Well, this is the Pearl District of Portland, and we're showcasing that and minor league baseball on our Sunday showcase here on the American Sports Network.
Go by streetcar.
Yeah, I love it. And then you come in here to Ron Tonkin Field in Hillsboro, Oregon, and just enjoy a great night with nachos and nice cold beer.
Adult beverage.
Yes. And maybe it's a long ball ale. Who knows? Swing and a miss by Ozuna, who leads things off in the 6th inning.
Plenty of hops in that long ball ale.
Yeah. Short hops, long hops, and hops that go into beer. Man, it was great visiting with Derek Ladnier, who is the scouting director of the Diamondbacks. And scouts are always,
they are.
High school games, college games. There's a bouncer down to Cedeno. 1 down.
It's so much that they spend time, too. Not only are they out trying to find the great amateur players, as he was talking about right there, and they're already out again this summer looking at the draft eligible for 2016.
Yep.
But they're also those guys they're cross-checking their organizations and other teams, you know, because if you're the general manager, if I'm the general manager and you're my scouting director, and I'm approaching the trade deadline at the end of this month, and I'm thinking about making a deal with another team, I come to you and I say, who do they have we want in their minor league system?
And isn't the scout, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but as a player, the scout that scouted you is your first contact with that team.
More times than not. Yeah, and a lot of times now, there are guys that don't develop long-term relationships with their scouts, and then there's guys that their scout is a long-term relationship with that organization the whole time you're there.
Desi gives it a ride down the left field line, but it's slicing foul and up onto the berm.
You know, years ago, the scout was in charge of signing you. He was actually the guy that was going to work the deal out, negotiate the deal with you. Now, that gets more into the farm director and those type of people in today's world.
I know who scouted Shelley Duncan, his dad.
I would think so.
There's a ball outside to Stephen Desi, And there are some of those scouts sitting in front of Bob Gebhardt. Not the guy eating the chips, but the guys that are working hard.
A lot of radar guns up.
Little chopper off the plate. Cedeno again. And again, the underhand toss to Lanfear, and there are 2 quick outs here in the 6th.
Both these guys have been very impressive. You just don't see young pitchers just in controlling the game. They've controlled the strike zone. They've been outstanding at first pitch strikes. Both of them well up over 75% of the time. They've attacked the zone, kept the ball out of the strike zone. 2 mistakes and a miscue, and this would be a nothing game.
Trevor Mitsui. Breaking ball in there for a strike. He's 0 for 2. Mitsui out of the University of Washington. Second year, drafted last year in the 30th round. Mitsui goes by the name of Big Cat. And again, that reminds me of Andres Galarraga.
You get in that second year as a hitter. This is a year where an organization's looking at you and saying, all right, you need to take off. Take advantage right now and build your momentum. They'd like to see you make that jump to a higher A by the end of this season.
Little chopper, and that's a foul ball.
Well, Forbes that time as a third baseman made that cardinal mistake as a young player will do. He was looking down. Fortunately, it was a foul ball. Do not become an umpire there. Go over, get in position, make the play, and then let the umpire do his job, call it fair or foul. But that time he looked up, didn't see a call, and then he rushed his throw. He would have not gotten an out if it had been a fair ball. So don't become an umpire. Make the play, and then let the umpire make the call.
Yeah, because that's so close on that play. He thought it was foul. He assumed it was foul, but you can't assume that.
Assumption will get you in trouble.
That's right. Well, a little more about Mitsui. This is a guy who grew up just north of Seattle in Shoreline, Washington, went to the University of Washington, and hits a high foul ball. And this one again up on the berm. Mitsui was drafted by Tampa Bay out of high school in the 12th round. He said, nope, I'm going to college. So he went to the University of Washington. And you think Mitsui, well, his great-grandfather was born in Japan. Down too low. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Mitsui.
This is a point right here as a young player is when I've got to throw a strike. I don't want to walk anybody. Keep the ball in the ballpark, but make him earn it. That's a good job. Good pitch in a good location. You don't want to walk anybody. You're down 3-0. You really have had a good ball game even though you're trailing. Still, and the one walk you have had on the day cost you a run.
Yeah, that walk to Smith in the 5th inning. He has scored twice. And an error cost you a run as well. So 2 of the runs are earned. 1 is unearned. And when you're evaluating a performance like this by Lanfear, and again, a lot of it comes down to how these guys are evaluated as much as the numbers.
Absolutely.
This will be a good start for Lanfear in the scouting department.
Well, it's going to be a quality start if he doesn't give up another run anyway. He's given up 3 and only 2 earned runs. So it'd be a quality start in that. But I think this is an exceptional start. Other than the fact he gave up the base hit to Smith the first time, and the second time through he didn't attack him because he'd given up that base hit. That walk really led to the 2 runs in that 5th inning.
You know, you go back to that 3rd inning when the Hops scored their first run. He limited the damage in the 3rd, Keith. He gave up a lead single, and then a double. So guys at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and he only gives up 1 run.
It's the best you could think you could pitch out of that.
Right. So from that standpoint, it's like, all right, he gave up that 1 run, but it could have been a lot worse. And then he only gave up 1 earned run in the 5th. And here, after a long at-bat by Mitsui, Trevor earns the walk.
Well, the Big Cat does his job right there. That was a good quality at bat. He fought off a few pitches. He forced Lamphere to make the mistake of missing with a breaking ball because he kept fighting off pitches, and then he tried to make a great pitch, and he laid off of it.
So now Luis Veras, who is from the Dominican Republic, a town of Boneo, which has a population of about 160,000. This is his third year as a pro. He's just 21 years of age. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes to Veras. And you wonder if Lamphere is starting to get a little bit tired.
Yeah, he's on the end. This is his last frame. Double barrel action in the bullpen. A righty and a lefty up and ready to go.
And there's one down the line that's fair. It gets by Votolato all the way to the wall. Mitsui will be held at third, and now runners at second and third with 2 out.
What happens to you as a pitcher? You get a little tired, you walk a batter even with 2 outs, and that walk comes back so many times to hurt you. Then you fall behind 2-0, have to come with a fastball. And Veras turns. This is a real good short, quick swing. Gets his front side open, barrel the bat down and through the baseball. Actually hits this ball too hard. He can't score a run on it because the ball doesn't gets to the fence so quickly. And Sui, right there, you know he can't score at that point. Duncan, the third base coach, and the manager throws the stop sign up.
Jose Jaimez comes out to chat with Lamphere. Lamphere pleading his case to try to stay in this ball game. And you wonder too, Keith, that long at bat by Mitsui, how much gas did that take out of the tank?
Well, it's been a really nice afternoon here. Now, we start out almost at 90 degrees today. It's been warm in the area. They want to keep these guys limited here the first half of this short season. They will not push them up much past 85 to 90 to 100 pitches.
So Hoffpower, the batter, he's 0 for 2 in the game, but runners now in scoring position at second and third. Did he go? Yes. Strike 1 to Hoffpower. Well, a chance for the Hops to blow this game wide open.
Yep. The Indians have got to get an out here to stay in the game.
Good pitch. Right at the knees, a fastball. He just blew it right by him.
Got lots of options here. I climbed the ladder with a high fastball.
Said he comes with a breaking ball.
Had too much of the plate.
Yes.
That's one of the things you got to learn. If you're going to go with a breaking ball there, you got to trust your catcher, and that's a ball you got to bounce. That had too much of the plate. Got away with it.
Sort of a nice play by the guy in the front row behind the dugout. At least he got the souvenir.
Sort of a nice. He stayed with it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. There's a line drive, but right at Dylan Moore, the second baseman. So the Hops leave him stranded at second and third. We go to the 7th. 3-0 in favor of the home team. Well, next week here on the American Sports Network, we are heading to Troy, New York. And the Tri-City Valley Cats will be hosting the Aberdeen Ironbirds from the New York Penn League, another short season Class A. And you look at the short season Class A here between Spokane and Hillsboro. We go to the 7th inning, and all 3 runs scored by Hillsboro. 1 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 5th, and all 3 runs coming from the bottom 3rd of the order for the Hops.
Look at Carlos Hernandez. He's out for his 7th inning work. He's really been outstanding. 10 of 19 batters he's faced. He's thrown a first pitch strike, but he has come back, even if he's missed on his first pitch, and attacked the strike zone. And he's thrown an excellent changeup here tonight.
He really has. No runs, just 2 hits. He has struck out 7 in this effort. The 2 hits were both lead singles. Irizarry, who is at the plate right now, has 1 of those 2. And in neither case did those runners reach second base even. Well, a chance for him to reach second base here as this one drilled down the line in left field, and a lead double for Irizarry.
Fell behind that time. Came with a fastball. That's a nice piece of hitting right there. You can see why he's one of the top prospects in the Ranger organization right here. good, quick, short, compact swing. Throws that front side open, clears, Barrett head down and through it, into the corner with a leadoff double. That could get some activity going. Again, do not like to see these guys, or you won't see guys in a short A season get into that 8th and 9th inning as a starter very often.
Well, Tim Hewlett saying we got a chance now. Lead guy on. First time he's had a runner in scoring position. Dylan Moore now the batter. Irizarry, you're talking about him being one of the top prospects for the Rangers. That's true. The number 14 prospect with the Rangers. Well, here is Dylan Moore, 0 for 2 in the game.
He's hit the ball a couple of times right on the button. You can see his numbers. He's a guy that can leave the ballpark. One swing of the bat, right back in the ball game.
And this one gets away from the catcher, Kaylees, and that'll allow Irizarry to get all the way to the third. That'll probably be ruled a wild pitch. That was way up high.
It just gets away. Tried to overthrow this fastball that time. Gets underneath it. And as a catcher, you're just not anticipating that ball up there when you call fastball and can't get to it.
There's a chopper right at the third baseman, Smith. No possible advance. And now we've got a collision at first base between Mitsui and the runner, Moore.
Well, both are going to be okay. Mitsui takes a blow of that, but he gets down and gets in position. The throw was in the dirt. This is one of those weak ground balls. You just see it. He comes back as he sets his feet. He comes over. You can see him get down, try to get in position to make the catch of the short hop on the field turf. Well, that's a heck of a collision. I'm glad both those guys are all right, because it could have been a knee very easily messed up right there.
It looked like Moore hit when his foot tried to plant on the bag. He kind of ran into the derriere of Mitsui, who was squatting down to get that low throw, the one hopper. Let's take another look.
See, the throw is in the dirt. Yeah, he's just back into the baseline trying to get in position. Well, you're fortunate both of those young men are okay.
Guy our age, we'd be laid up in the hospital right now.
Well, they'd have the ambulance coming out.
2 strikes on Jamie Potts, and Potts has struck out twice in this game. Man, if Fernandez can get out of this jam, that'd be amazing. Fouled out of play.
These are give me RBI situations. These are the other things you're trying to teach him. Understand offensive baseball. It's a hitter right here.
What do you mean by gimme RBI?
It's a man on third, less than 2 outs, infield back. Something on the ground, a shorter second, a ground ball right here. Gets your team on the board. And that's, you've got to take advantage of those scenarios as a hitter and as a team to be a good offensive team.
So as a hitter, are you maybe trying to take something off, just hit a ground ball?
That's exactly right.
I mean, you're not trying to drive it somewhere necessarily.
No.
You just want to get it on the ground.
You get a ground ball right here. Just get the job done.
Instead, a strikeout, and Irizarry is still at third now with 2 out.
Just changes the complexion of the entire game, because instead of a 3-1 ball game, you see this is an outstanding changeup. Watch this ball die and run away right there. Great movement to that changeup. Out in front, upset it himself, you can see. That's a big-time pitch.
Now Sherman LaCruz. Fastball upstairs. Probably the last inning of work for Hernandez. And this on the heels of an outstanding outing by Cody Reed last night for the Hops. Popped up. On the infield, Alcantara. And wow, what a job by Hernandez. He gives up a lead double. That guy goes to third on a wild pitch. And then a bounce out to third, a strikeout, and a pop-up. Wow. Seventh inning stretch time here at Ron Tonkin Field in Hillsboro, Oregon. And you look at the Hops leading 3-0. New pitcher for the Spokane Indians. And now they're featuring Omarlin Lopez. So Lopez now on the mound, and you look at his record overall. Hasn't been in too many games yet for these Indians. Well, a couple that has been the owners of the Hillsboro Hops and owners that do not like the limelight, do not take the limelight, but they're standing by now with our Ashley Bullington, Mike and Laura McMurray.
Thanks, Dave. I'm here with Mike and Laura McMurray, the CFO, and the owners of the Hillsboro Hops. How are y'all doing today?
Living the baseball dream.
And living the baseball dream. I'm curious, what made you two decide that you wanted to own a minor league baseball team?
Well, we've been lifelong baseball fans and had a pretty boring career, but it was fairly lucrative. So able to take early retirement and pursue our dream, which was to get involved with minor league baseball.
And why the Hops in particular?
Well, it actually wasn't the Hops. Some friends of ours introduced us to a couple teams, and we started out as a minority owner in Yakima. But over time, we ended up buying more shares, and the Yakima team became the Hillsboro Hops in 2013.
And speaking of that, down in Yakima, when you decided to bring the team up into Portland, Laura, I know that you're from the area. What made you two decide that you wanted to bring it kind of back home?
The opportunity of being in the Portland area. Once the Beavers left, it was just a great opportunity. There was a vacuum to be filled for baseball, and it was a great place to be able to bring a team.
And speaking of just bringing it to Portland and it being a great place, talk about the fans a little bit. I mean, this atmosphere is amazing. They were lit up a little bit ago whenever Sergio came in for the Little League home run.
The fans here are true baseball fans. They really get it. They really enjoy watching the players develop, and very knowledgeable fans and really get into it. They come to the ballpark and they're going to have a good time and enjoy their baseball. And it's amazing. They're unlike any fans we've seen.
And being an owner, what exactly do you guys do?
That's a secret.
Oh, you're not going to let me in?
What we do is basically provide, in this situation now, we're providing support to our general manager and the staff. They come up with the good ideas, and we have the final say on them. And for the most part, we agree with them and find what do we have to do to support what they want to do.
And Dave touched on earlier, you guys just kind of keep a back seat as to showing yourselves to the public. I mean, you sit in the night section over there, and nobody really knows who you guys are. Can you kind of talk about just what it's like to be able to be the owners and see every game and how much the fans love your team?
It's awesome. Basically, for us and for our fans, what the players do on the field, they're vicariously doing what we want to be doing. They're playing baseball and getting paid for it. We're not good enough for that, but we're in a fortunate position that we can help see these players develop and enjoy their success. And it's really important for us to provide an entertainment venue for the folks in Hillsboro.
Well, on behalf of myself, Dave, Keith, and all of the ASN staff, I just want to say thank you so much for all your hospitality. It's been a treat being here, and we really enjoy it. Guys, back up to you, too.
All right, thanks a lot, Ashley, and thanks so much to Mike and Laura McMurray and their hospitality for inviting us here to Hillsboro. What a special treat here, Keith, in the Northwest.
Well, it is, and they've done an outstanding job. And when you listen to folks like that who care so much about the game of baseball and their city and their hometown, and to be able to get back here and to have that happen where they could get back into the Portland area and have baseball back in the Portland area. It'd been here for 100 years.
Yeah.
And that
Boy,
vacuum.
what a golden opportunity.
It was.
I mean, you lose the Portland Beavers, and then I think this whole community realized, man, that's a void that we really want to fill. And so when the Hops come to town, they just jumped on board. I mean, look at this place. At the beginning of the game, they were probably, half full? And now you can't hardly find an empty seat, especially out
on the berms.
On the berms. And then you look at what Alcantara did back in the 5th inning. This is ruled a triple, and then a throwing error by Leon Bird allowed him to score from third.
He's been hot. He's a good young player.
Alcantara. He takes an inside pitch, and now it's 3-0 to Alcantara.
Well, he knows the strike zone well. Again, he's just trying to get stronger. Extra base hits, being able to drive the ball well enough because he can do so many things defensively. He runs well, outstanding arm. That pitch right on the bottom end of the strike zone, no question. And that's what it forces you to do as a hitter. You get impatient. Say, well, that 3-1 pitch was a strike, and then you go after a pitch that was probably outside the zone. That tells you right there the difference in this game. The bottom third of this order has been the difference in the ballgame.
How about that? 1 for 17, hitters 1 through 6. And then 7, 8, 9, boom, all the production. And there's another base hit by Alcantara. Unstoppable. 2 for 2 in this game, 2 for 4 last night with 4 runs batted in, 2 runs batted in tonight.
And I think what we're seeing is we're seeing a young man that's finally figured out the short and sweet. He's not long. He did a nice job right there on a ball down. The pitch before, he got a little long. That time he was real short step, just dropped the head of the bat right down on the ball.
Remember, folks, he's 18. 18.
Playing against a lot of guys here that are 22 and 23.
Yep.
Just out of school.
So he's like a kid who would be going to college this fall. He'd be a freshman this
Next
fall.
spring.
So he'd be like in between his senior year of high school and his first year of college.
Trying to make sure he was going through orientation.
Alcantara trying to steal second. He'll make it. So what else can he do for you?
Well, he got a good jump.
Great time to go, too. Lead guy up, 2 out. Why not?
Yeah, that's why you hit him in the 9th spot. That's why he's there. A good throw might have got him right there. Ball was down in the dirt, but he gets into scoring position.
So now Narrier with a chance to make it a 4-0 lead.
Oh, by the way, these guys that are from outside the country, all trying to understand the language, still learning the language.
Yeah. That's all part of it, too. Fortunately for them, there are usually 4, 5, 6 guys on each roster that have come either from the Dominican or Venezuela or some Latin American country. And a lot of time, these seasoned baseball guys have been around the game long enough. They know a little Spanish.
They do. Yeah, but when they go to a restaurant, they may not be able to order anything but ham and eggs. Well, that was an intelligent move as a pitcher. If somebody puts on the flash play, you do not want to deliver the ball. He knew he was not going to make a play and throw to second base, but he just inside step, kill the play, start all over again.
Because your fielder is way out of position.
Out of position.
Yeah. Narrier, by the way, kid who grew up in Anaheim, 10 minutes from the stadium there. But also keep this in mind, 10 minutes from Disneyland. So he could have grown up wanting to be Mickey or something, but instead he wanted to be a baseball player.
That's a great area in Anaheim. But who doesn't want to go to ride Magic Mountain?
He grew up playing all kinds of sports, including hockey. He was a big fan of the Anaheim Ducks, so he played hockey as well. His favorite player with the Angels, Vladimir Guerrero. And there's a little squibber. That'll find a hole, and here comes Alcantara. Narrier gets caught between first and second, and safe at second. only an RBI single, but he plays Houdini on the base pass.
He gets out of the pickle right there. Anytime as a first baseman right here, the mistake will happen. Obviously, got jammed. Just Texas leaguer gets in. Thought there might have been a play at the plate. He's hustling, trying to get into second. The throw comes back into second as he scores easily. And then if you get into the rundown as a first baseman, you've got to back off and give some room right here. He was too close, didn't make the commitment. It should have been a one throw out right there. But he got too close. And at that point, the runner could change direction and gets into scoring position.
And one of those fundamental flaws for this team, they should run the runner back to the bag, not allow him to advance a bag. So it is ruled, though, as a double for Nerriere and an RBI double at that. So now we've got 7 in the books, and the beat goes on for the Hops, who lead 4-0. Well, we're near Portland, where they love their breweries, and we're loving this Sunday showcase of minor league baseball. The Hillsboro Hops are taking on the Spokane Indians. Man, this is a great area, this Pacific Northwest, where they love tech, they love tennis shoes, they love bikes, they love coffee, they love
hops,
berries, and they love plays like this. This is a heads-up play by Nerriere.
Well, right here, you can see the commitment. You got to commit him right there. Didn't give up the bag quick enough right there and be able to get back. You should be able to make one throw. You should have ran him back to the bag. Really nice job of base running. Not a good job defensively, which way you wanted to force him to run. Should have forced him back to first base.
Generous to give him a double, but an RBI anyway. And the reason he wanted to get caught in that rundown is he wasn't sure that Alcantara on a little squibber to left would score. So he tried to draw the throw to second to make sure.
And he ended up in not only get the run in, but get into scoring position himself.
Tyler Sanchez, and guess who's still out there? Carlos Hernandez. Thought he might be done after 7, but he still has some gas left in the tank. He's given up only 3 hits while striking out 8. But now he falls behind the leadoff batter Sanchez, 3-0. No walks surrendered yet by Hernandez. There is activity in the Hops bullpen.
You know, you hate to compare, and I don't do it very often, compare players that you've seen, but Gallardo with the Texas Rangers reminds me a lot of Carlos Hernandez. If you'll look at it, they pitch the same style, throw across their body a little bit, use the fastball and the changeup, and very competitive.
You know, when you think about it, too, Shelley Duncan was telling us before the game that he kind of turns over these kind of pitching decisions from the 6th inning on to his pitching coach, Doug Drabeck. He said he just handles it. And so Drabeck on the phone to see if perhaps Lawrence Pardo is available and is ready. And here comes the manager, Shelley Duncan.
And I think he's going to coming out to make a move right here.
I do too. And also to shake the hand of Carlos Hernandez. I mean, what an outing. And again, on the heels of Cody Reed, who last night went 6 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts. So 7 shutout innings for Hernandez. He is still responsible for Sanchez. But listen to this, please. These educated fans here in Hillsboro know the job that Hernandez has done, and we'll be back. Well, we come back in the 8th inning here. Pitching move for the Hops as Carlos Hernandez goes 7+ innings and gives way to Lawrence Pardo, a lefty out of the pen.
At times he struggled a little bit with his command. He's got good stuff. You can see there 3 walks, 7 innings of work. He's coming on here. What a nice job, though, by Carlos Hernandez. You can't say enough about him as Pardo into the game here. You know, you use guys, you try to put them in the best environment you can. This is going to be one of those scenarios where you're bringing a guy in you haven't used in a couple of days. Maybe have made some tweaks in his delivery. See how it works. It's much like a golfer that changes his swing a little bit and then goes back to the course. And there's all kinds of education going on right now at this level.
So Pardo comes in relief of Hernandez, who goes 7+ innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. And Duncan is looking over his scoring chart and knowing that man, Hernandez did the job. And here's some other guys in the Diamondbacks organization who are doing the job. They're top 5 prospects overall. You saw you saw Archie Bradley. And there's a line drive to right field. Trying to double up the runner. Throw a little bit late. Let's go back to that graphic and show you the top 5 prospects for the Diamondbacks. We mentioned Archie Bradley, Braden Shipley, a couple of right-handed pitchers, one in AAA, one in AA. Another right-handed pitcher in AAA, Aaron Blair. And then another right-handed pitcher in AA, Yohan Lopez. And then Gabriel Guerrero, an outfielder, also in AA.
Organizations are looking, the Diamondbacks always looking for pitching. Every organization is always looking for it. But in the ballpark at Chase Field in Phoenix, it's a ballpark that offensively, you can always find players that seem to be able to play there. It's a good offensive ballpark, but pitching's tough to find.
Everywhere. High school.
Yes, it is.
American Legion. College.
Any level.
Any level. Cedeno looks at a fastball upstairs. 1-1 the count to Cedeno, who is 0 for 2 against Hernandez. Swing and a miss or an off-speed pitch. His Hillsboro staff comes in with a 2.77 team ERA.
It's going to win a lot of ball games.
Swing and a miss. And down goes Cedeno. That's the 9th strikeout combined between Hernandez and Pardo.
Well, this is a real nice job of mixing pitches. Good slider pitch before, then he comes back with a heater. You're looking for something off speed, and it's just by you. Can't get on top of it. Pretty good swing, just tardy.
The best chance the Indians had of scoring was in the 7th when they had a lead double. A wild pitch sent Irizarry to third with nobody out. But then Dylan Moore hit one to Smith, the third baseman. He threw him out. No advancement by Irizarry. Then a strikeout of Jamie Potts and a pop-up to shortstop by La Cruz, and that was the end of that threat. That is the only runner the Indians have had in scoring position in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike to Taekwon Forbes. Forbes, the number 17 prospect. Oh, excuse me, this is Votolato. And this is popped up. Is there room? Not quite.
Ball just kept drifting away right there. It had an opportunity to get to it. Just couldn't come up with the play.
Votolato 0 for 2 in the game. Forbes, by the way, struck out. Cedeno before him with a fly ball to right field. And so there is Sanchez, who led off with a walk. And isn't it interesting, Keith, that the Indians, all of their hits or walks have come from the leadoff position, and yet they don't have a run. In fact, they only have one guy in scoring position. They had a lead single in the 1st, a lead single in the 4th, a lead double in the 7th, and now a lead walk here in the 8th. There's a fly ball to left field, playable for Veras. And just like that, down go the Indians. And to the bottom of the 8th we go. And again, it's Hillsboro dominating Spokane 4-0. Beautiful. You think it's Napa Valley, but it's Oregon.
Dundee Hills.
Sounds like you've been paying a visit.
Yeah, I went down there.
Educated guess, huh?
That wasn't educated. I saw that view before.
All part of the Sunday showcase, and for Keith and his wife Cindy, part of the Friday and Saturday showcase. That's good for you.
Outstanding Pinots.
You've got to celebrate making all 50 states.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you had
great
to.
Opportunity.
Yeah, great opportunity.
This will not be the last time I make my way to Portland, Oregon.
So, all right. So we featured the fact that they love their tech. They love their tennis shoes. They love their bikes. Their bike paths, bike lanes everywhere. They love their coffee. They love their breweries. Now we know they like their wine. They love more pine trees here per capita than anywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful
and they love their
drives.
hops. They love the Hillsboro hops.
They do. It's been a
And what's not to love? A beautiful Sunday night. Temps now in the upper 70s. No humidity. It never rains here either, ever.
Yeah, they've had a 1/10 of an inch of rain.
What?
Since June 7th.
Oh, my. Ground ball by Desi. He's 0 for 4 tonight. 1 out in the 8th.
Now batting for the Hawks. First baseman, number 21, Trevor Mitsui.
Trevor Mitsui. 0 for 2 with a walk. Little lead on the swing. Strike 1 from Mitsui. Lopez on the mound in relief of Lanfear, who really was better than the 4
absolutely.
runs that were surrendered.
Absolutely.
He only gave up 3 of those, and only 2 of those were earned. Upstairs. You know, we were talking with Shelley Duncan, who is in his first year as a manager anywhere after playing in the big leagues with the Yankees, the Indians, Tampa Bay. And Shelley was saying, I look at it 2 ways here in short season A-ball. I take the first part of the day, and he says, this is exactly what I tell my players. The first part of the day is all about development. That's when we work on your skills. That's where we try to make you a better player so that you can make the big leagues. But once we get to game time, then we're going to teach you to be competitive, and we're going to try to win. I love that approach.
Well, I think you have to take somewhat that approach. I mean, you want to find a way to work together as a team in the little bitty things. We talk about being a good offensive team, getting that guy in from third, less than 2 outs when you need to do, and the little things. That you can work on only during the game. But before the game, it's when you work on your mechanics, on the things that you need to do to get your hands in the right position, become a better fielder. You can actually become a better base runner before the game than doing it in a game.
And then on top of it all, being a first-year manager and doing all the duties that go along with that, he's also coaching third, which a lot of managers do at this level. They must have to do it. And that is a learning curve in and of itself, just coaching third.
Well, to be a good third base coach at the big league level is as valuable as a player, in my opinion.
Really?
A guy that's good over there, knows what to do at third base, doesn't make mistakes.
There are third base coaches all over the big leagues right now who want to write you a thank you note.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, a guy that's good over there, they're not very good at third base. You're not going to be a good offensive team.
And talking to the third base coaches that I've had the pleasure of knowing, you ask them all the same thing. What goes through your mind when a guy is coming around second, heading for third, and then you want to send him or not send him or whatever? And he goes, I've got to know a lot of things. I've got to know where the ball was hit. I've got to know the outfielders that are involved. I have to know the strength of their arms. I have to know the speed of my runner. How good a jump did he get? What the conditions are. I mean, there are a million factors.
Who's coming up next?
Who's coming up next? How many outs are there?
There's an art form. You just don't hire a guy and say, hey, you're going to be my big league third base coach. That doesn't work that way.
And, you know, they never get applauded by the fans for sending the guy at the right time. But they always get booed by the fans when a guy gets thrown out at the plate.
Tim Flannery's just retired, and the Giants are in that scenario right now where they're trying to find a guy that's really been really good as a third base coach. And he retires and gets out of the game, and all of a sudden you got to find a new guy to take that job.
It's tough. So now add managerial duties to that.
Pre-game duties. Computer duties.
Yeah, evaluation duties.
Full-time job.
Sending in a report. Swing and a miss, and down goes Veras, and now there are 2 outs here in the 8th.
This is a wicked breaking ball right here. Good bite to it. Start out in a great location. Starts right there. And boy, this knee-high breaking away outside the zone when it gets to the plate. That's going to buckle a lot of hitters.
Now Hoffpower, who's 0 for 3. And Keith, you got me looking at now pitchers and where that front foot lands. Because you were talking about Hernandez, how he crosses over and all that. So every pitcher out there now tonight, I'm like, all right, what's he doing? Is he straight to the plate? Is he crossing over?
Does he open up too soon?
What's he doing? I mean,
he's
I love
almost
noticing
parallel.
those. Yeah, he is.
He's almost parallel right here, Lopez. He does pitch. He does pitch from the first base side.
Right.
But you can see he's almost square coming to the plate. You'll see pitchers, and a lot of big league pitchers will make a mark on the mound when they first go to the mound.
And he induces a ground ball from Hoffpower that goes through the wickets. Irizarry lets it go through for another error. That's the second error committed by Spokane. So now runners at the corners with 2 out.
They let this ball play him. And you can just see him. He lays back right here, folks. See the ball coming as an infielder. He lays back, tries to back up. Anytime, I call it gator. When you back up like a gator or come backwards, if you gator on the ball, you're not going to be a good fielder. You got to attack that baseball. If he attacks it, he gets an out.
I didn't know gators backed up. They back up like that, huh?
They'll
I've never been close enough to a gator
they'll
to
give
know
ground.
that move. Well, here's Jeff Smith. I didn't know that. I'm too busy running, I guess. If I ever got close enough to a gator, I hope I never do.
Well, shrimp backs up like that too. But it's hard to say he shrimped it.
Okay. Here's Smith. He's been an integral part of the offense today. And here he pops it up to center field. Leon Bird's got it. And that'll do it for the Hops in the 8th inning. So to the 9th we go. The Hops have a 4-0 lead. You are watching the American Sports Network. To the 9th inning we go. 4-0 in favor of the home team. The Hops are ahead and looking for their 4th straight win over the Spokane Indians with Keith Moreland and Ashley Bullington. I am Dave Armstrong and having the time of our lives here in the Pacific Northwest.
This is beautiful. There's no doubt about it. How about the sun that we've seen this afternoon? This is an area that this week hasn't had a lot of sun. Now, 2 weeks prior to this, up in the 90s every day, way above normal temperatures. But, boy, it's been beautiful these last couple of days.
77 right now, wind blowing from right to left. And we have a new pitcher, too. Troy Marks has come out of the bullpen, 3rd pitcher used by the Hops. And Marks is a guy who was purchased from Washington last year. He went to Fresno City College and then Nevada Reno, 2nd year as a pro. So 25 years of age, still trying to live that dream. You know, sometimes when I have a son who's playing soccer, and it's sort of like minor league soccer. He's in Finland. And I said, I'm really proud of you, Scott. You're doing, you're living the dream. And he says, well, I'm not exactly living the dream, but I'm keeping the dream alive.
That's exactly it.
And that's what a lot of times guys that are 25, 26, 27 at this level, they're trying to keep the dream alive.
And we don't know if there was an injury involved, whatever happened to him that he didn't get the opportunity to go a little bit earlier. So he may be coming back from some type of injury that puts him, as Bird gets jammed, but this isn't a perfect spot, but does a nice job of hustling. That's a good note for young players right there. He popped it up, not happy about that. Pretty sure it's going to get caught, and it finds a way to find the outfield grass. Instead, he's hustling into second base.
So a lead double, and wouldn't you know it, the Indians with another leadoff guy on base. They had a leadoff guy on in the 1st, a leadoff guy on in the 4th, a leadoff guy on in the 7th, a leadoff guy in the 8th, and again here in the 9th. But yet nothing to show for it. And Bird becomes only the 2nd Indian to reach scoring position. And there's a base hit by Irizarry. Bird, he'll be held at 3rd.
Well, that's a nice job. Jason going the other way right there. He was looking for something away. Hey, play the game, get him over, even though you're down 4-0, and took advantage of it, gets a base hit for it. And all of a sudden now, tying run is going to be in the on-deck circle.
Irizarry, by the way, with 3 of the 5 hits for the Indians tonight.
It's one of those slow walks out right here. This comes from saying, all right, let's get our bullpen up and let them get going. Even though Burt did not hit the ball well, he's only thrown 3 pitches at this point. There's runners at first and third.
See, this is the change from development to trying to win.
That's it. Exactly right.
And if you're just trying to develop, you don't really care what Marks does.
Yeah, you got this inning.
You got this inning. We're gonna stick with you no matter what. But again, trying to set that tone. And Ryan Burr, of course, you all remember him from Arizona State this year. Ryan Burr is getting loose. Looks like he is loose. He's just standing out there right now. So I would think that Marks has this batter to prove himself.
Well, if a sacrifice fly here or an out and only 1 run scores, I think he probably get a chance to stay in the ball game. But if Moore finds a way to reach base, yeah, his day is pretty short.
And there's a little squibber for a hit. So only 1 ball really hit well, but Marks is touched for 3 hits in a row and the first run for the Indians.
And now the tying runs at the plate.
RBI single for Moore. Again, jam shots by both Bird and Moore. Birds falls on a pop-up for a double. Irizarry hit the ball well to right field. And now he's at second base after the single by Moore. And here comes Shelley Duncan. And he's going to make a call to the bullpen. So Troy Marks upset with himself, couldn't register an out. And again, 2 of the balls were not hit hard. And now we're going to get the closer. Ryan Burr by way of Arizona State University. Come back and we'll tell you more about Burr in just a moment. Welcome back to Hillsboro, where it looked like it was going to be a walk in the park for the Hops, but all of a sudden Spokane has come to life here in the 9th inning. They've already scored a run. They still have 2 guys on and nobody out, so that brings in Ryan Burr, who was just drafted in the 5th round by the Diamondbacks. A guy that was terrific for Arizona State.
Well, he was outstanding in college, and you can see his numbers here in 7 innings of work. Comes in, he's only walked 1 batter, so the command is what is impressive to me. He's a hard thrower. He's going to be in the mid-90s, got a good hard slider, but he's got good command to go with it. He's been in these scenarios. You know, we have changed a little bit. You know, closers were developed once they got into pro ball. And today's world now, a lot of times, college ball is developing closers that are staying in that role once they get into professional baseball.
And I'm wondering how much influence Bob Gebhardt had on this kid being drafted by the Diamondbacks, because he grew up basically in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, which is a south suburb of Denver. And a kid who then went to Arizona State. So we'll see. Brian Burr coming out of the bullpen to try to put out the Indians' fire. Still nobody out for Spokane. Bob Gebhardt still working hard. 51 years in professional baseball and still out there with a radar gun. Checking out Ryan Burr now. Jamie Potts, the batter. He has struck out 3 times in this game. 2 on, nobody out, 1 run in for the Indians. Fastball upstairs. That one registered 94 on the radar gun out here, which I think has been slow all weekend.
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, that looked a little harder than 94, but 94 is getting it up there.
Oh, yeah. That one, 91 and in for a strike.
But the command, the ability to hit the corners with that velocity, is what made Burr as effective as he has been.
tying run at the plate. Fouled straight back, 1-2.
As a Potts there is a hitter, usually going to get one pitch. You heard me say it many times, Dave.
Yep.
You're going to get one pitch in an at-bat, and you need to take advantage of it. Burr made a mistake, left that over the plate. Potts did not take advantage of it. Now he's got to worry about Uncle Charlie to go with the fastball now. A good hard breaking ball could get him here.
Fastball got him anyway.
Ain't nothing fancy about that. Here it is. Catch up to it. This is just reaching back, getting a little extra. 93, 94 right at the top of the zone. Just couldn't pull the trigger.
While he was at Arizona State this year, 33 relief appearances, 14 saves. He was first teamer all Pac-12. Sherman LaCruz now the batter. And there's the breaking ball. Stays a little bit high. That kind of had LaCruz buckled, didn't it?
Might have overthrown that just a little bit.
Popped up and behind home plate, now to play. Do you notice LaCruz, when he holds the bat, his hands are separated?
Yeah. I was going to the point. You could really see at that time where he was trying to speed up that top end. We'll give you a good view of it right here. You just don't see that very often.
Usually those hands are right together, and there they were. Now look how much separated they are.
That's real surprising.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that in a while.
And the purpose for that is?
Can't give you an answer. I wouldn't.
Okay.
If I was his hitting coach, he'd have both hands closer together.
All right. I've never seen a golfer do that.
It's got to slow down your bat speed.
That's what I would think. They start off close, and then he gets them farther and farther apart. And he hits a fly ball to center field, playable for Nerrier. No advancement by the runner, so 2 outs registered by Burr.
His top hand does come off in his swing. Does come off the bat. With that scenario, probably doesn't need to be down with his other hand as much if his top hand's going to come off on every swing. So it probably does not affect his bat speed as much as we were thinking if you would hold both hands on the bat through the swing.
Right. It's weird anyway.
Doesn't look comfortable.
No. Here's Sanchez. 2 out now. Burr, so far so good, has done a really good job of putting out any fire by the Indians. 1 big batter remaining. Sanchez has a home run this year. That's a fastball upstairs.
This would be the best pitch more than likely in this at bat to hit. If you're a hitter, I'm looking for a fastball right here I can get the head out in front on.
Down low.
Now he's just getting more zoned into a location. Do I like it up? Do I like it down? I'm going to make sure that I get the bat started. I'm not going to be tardy here.
So he's thinking, all right, I'm going to hit fastball. That's first of all.
Yep.
That's part one of the equation. Secondly, I need it in the right location.
Yes, I do. I need it in a place I can get to when a guy's throwing 95.
And it's not there. That one jammed him.
Just couldn't get extended.
Yeah.
The ball was up on him before he could get his arms extended.
If he could have turned quickly, good pitch to hit.
Yes, it was.
You could pull it. But that's a big if against a guy throwing 90 plus. Two 1 pitch is again high. Well, you don't want to put this guy on because that puts the tying run on board.
Still, this is again where you zone out. I'm looking for a work. What can I get to? If I like the ball out of the plate, I'm looking out of the plate. If I like the ball in, I'm looking in.
He liked that one pretty well. Hits it into the left field corner and deep, and it is gone. A 3-run homer, and we are tied.
That's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for one pitch you can put a juice in one. That's exactly what we just saw right there. He fell behind. It's all about location, the count. The 2-0 pitch, he was just short of getting there. 3-1 pitch, he wasn't short that time. He got the hands extended. He knew he got enough. Now he's trying to figure out, is that ball fair? And it got some help. Breeze blowing that direction out of here. 3-run shot.
He came a little bit shy of the Carlton Fisk move of stay fair, stay fair, stay fair. And right now, Burr is going. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So now we're beginning all again. 4-4 our score, and all 4 runs by the Indians here in the ninth.
Bullpens will start to get going a little more.
Whoa. This one, a bolt out of the blue, came from nowhere. The Indians really had nothing going. And then a bloop double by Leon Bird starts it all off, followed by a solid single and then a bloop single. A strikeout, a fly ball to center field. You think, okay, Burr has returned things to order. And then on a 3-1 pitch, Tyler Sanchez with a 3-run homer to tie it.
Well, he was just tardy, as you talked about, on the 2-0 pitch. Got a 3-1 pitch that he got extended on.
There's a strike, and it's 1-2.
And, you know, he hit it at the right time. We have more breeze blowing straight out right now than we've had any time today.
And there's a line drive center field base hit.
Well, this is a good education for Ryan Burr. I mean, he's an outstanding closer. It tells me, and he should learn from the fact is, you know, I've still got to pitch ahead. I've got good stuff, but the only way that my stuff becomes really effective is strike one. This is going to be one of those scenarios. This is Doug Drabek. This is a teaching time right here. You're not going to see a pitching change. It's going to be about going out and talking about teaching the game.
I would love to have a microphone on Doug Drabek right now. I would love to eavesdrop on this conversation.
Well, I'd hate to guess what he said, but what I'm going out to say to him is, you got to compete. And this is what you're here to do. We're going to find something out, but you got to compete within the strike zone. And that would have been my message when I would have gone out to say to him. It wasn't a long conversation, as you could tell.
It wasn't. It was like, all right, you gave up a home run. Get over it.
That's exactly right.
Right?
Now go compete.
Go get it. Go get the next guy. Again, you were right. Brody Greer, even though he's warm, ready to go, that wasn't about a pitching change. That was about sending a message to a guy that could be a closer one day in the big leagues.
Got to have the shortest memory on the planet to be a closer at any level. You got to forget about the last pitch.
Taekwon Forbes 0 for 3 in the game. That one hit him. And that'll push the go-ahead run down to second.
That hurt. See this ball start to run in. Right here, starts to move in. Actually catches him, I believe, above his guard.
Yeah.
Right on the tricep. He does wear a guard on that left elbow, but that guard doesn't go up very high. I think it
went right above it.
Right above it.
So it got him right in the tricep area. And that stings.
This becomes a big at bat right here. Ball game's on the line right now.
Yeah, it is. What do you think about the protective gear the batters wear?
Don't like it at all. I don't think they should be able to wear anything.
You don't?
I never wore anything.
Right.
You know, I so many times you see Barry Bonds, one of the best hitters in the history of the game,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. But he had armor on.
So he could really crowd the plate.
He could.
With no fear. Strike one. I've never heard a pitcher yet. You're the first hitter I've heard say, yeah, I should ban it. All pitchers feel the same way.
I don't mind something as you see the one on the foot
Right.
in the front. That's the hitter fouling pitches off. That's
Right.
not because the pitcher's throwing the pitch there.
Okay. That makes sense.
So that one doesn't
Like the
bother.
guard that Votolato has right now.
Yes, that
Yeah,
does.
that's okay.
That's protection from.
Right.
'Cause he's going to foul it off. He's doing that to himself.
Right. That's self-inflicted.
Yes.
Sort of. 2 strikes on Votolato. And down he goes. Well, the good news for the Hops, they've kept it tied. The bad news, they give up 4 runs in the 9th, including a 3-run homer by Tyler Sanchez to tie it. Wow. We go to the bottom of the 9th now in a brand new ball game, 4-4. How about Spokane doing nothing for 8 innings? They come through with 4 runs on 5 hits in the 9th, and we're tied at 4 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And of course, Spokane, part of the Rangers system. You look at their top 5 prospects, Keith, and Joey Gallo's been up and down. He's one of their top prospects at third base now at AAA.
He can play some outfield. Yeah, he can play some outfield as well. Big time power in Joey Gallo. There's no question about that. And I've seen Alex Gonzalez throw, another outstanding right-handed pitcher.
And another one is Jake Thompson in AA, and then Nomar Mazzara, an outfielder, also in AA. And how about Tyler Sanchez?
First-year guy, first year out. Played at St. John's, who made a really good run into NCAA baseball postseason this year. How about that blow? That's an exciting blow for a first-year player right there.
Yeah, it is. Not just a home run, but a home run with a game on the line against a guy from Arizona State who was throwing gas. So here's Jose Calise, and a ground ball bobbled by Forbes. The throw still in time.
Still like to see him run through the bag. He's trying to hustle. It's hustle. No question of a guy wanting to get there, but right here, just keep running straight through the bag. See him slow down to try to dive. His left knee actually slides first. That's going to slow you down.
I'll give him a break. He's a catcher.
Well,
you were a catcher. Did you ever slide head first into first?
I did not.
Or into any bag?
Yeah, I drugged my chin a few times.
Okay. Well, here's Alcantara. He's been an impossible out. Sac fly RBI in the 3rd, a triple and a single, plus 2 runs scored. Inside. Lopez still pitching. He came on in the 7th. That one gets by Forbes. Could be extra bases. And the go-ahead run is in scoring position.
We highlighted him to start the program, and you can see why. He is coming on as a hitter. Again, he's got to get stronger, but he's got great plate coverage. Right there, he didn't try to do too much with it. As the ball away from him, just reaches out, hits it on the head of the bat the other way, and uses his speed. His 2nd extra base hit of the day. All of a sudden now, the winning run, 180 feet away out at second base. That's a good at bat.
Little light rain falling now. 8-4-13 in the series for Alcantara.
Oof.
And this one just foul. Nice grab guy in the front row.
Tell you what, saving the fans down there.
Nerriere has a double in 4 at-bats, and that double came off Lopez. It was a gift double. It was really an RBI single. They gave him a double when he got caught in a rundown between first and second and made it to second base. It was a double, though, that scored Alcantara with the 4th run for the Hops in the 7th. A base hit here, and the Hops could go home very happy.
The outfield is shortened up in the outfield. You got to try to throw out the runner at the plate.
Up high.
You gamble a little bit in these scenarios. You know, I think in center and in right, especially, you can get a little shallower. In left, might be a little too shallow right here because the wind's blowing out that way with a right-handed hitter.
The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt.
Nice job by Sanchez. That's a big play. Even at a 1-2 count would have made it 2-2, but that ball gets away. All of a sudden, the runner moves up 90 feet. Everybody has to come up.
Sanchez has come up with a big play. Now Shelly Duncan hoping his team can come through after surrendering a 4-0 lead in the ninth. Way outside, another good stop by the catcher, Sanchez.
Open base here. You don't have to challenge the fastball. In fact, if I'm catching here, if I've got a good slider, this is when I try to go to my good slider, get the strikeout.
Like that.
Just like that. And sometimes as a hitter, you just put your sword away and head to the dugout.
Sheath the sword.
That's exactly right, because that is dynamite pitch right there. I mean, it's just, you can't do anything with it.
He tried to buy like it was ball 4.
Yeah, but
he knew.
Yeah.
And they're going to go to the bullpen. So Tim Hewlett comes out. Lopez did a really good job. Did give up 1 run, but did a really good job in his 3 innings of relief. And we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return in a moment. Well, the wheels are spinning here in the 9th inning with 2 out and the go-ahead run at second base. Spokane has gone back to their bullpen, and they brought in a lefty and Luis Parra.
When you look at the numbers for Parra right there, he's done a nice job coming out of the bullpen. He's been involved in a lot of wins and losses and very few appearances. He's been involved in the decision every time he seems like he's taking the mound. And they do this to the switch hitter. Ozuna is the switch hitter, better hitter from the left side, so they flip him over. And Desi, right behind him, is another left-handed hitter, so this is the move that you want to go to get the switch hitter to his weaker side, and then what the left-handed hitter do.
Now with 2 out, Alcantara can be off with any swing of the bat. So it makes it a little bit easier for him to score from second base than if there were 1 out.
Yeah, with his speed, too.
Even though the outfield is playing shallow, I'm sure that Shelly Duncan, the manager and third base coach, is going to send him. Well, I'm not sure, but I would guess that he would.
Well, unless it's a line drive right at the left fielder and he's got the ball and the guy's not even to third base yet. But most of the time what third base coaches look at you said, I'm not going to stop you. You get a good jump.
Yeah,
get a good secondary lead and get a good jump.
It's got to be like something really hard hit right at one of the outfielders. I think if they have to move. But first things first, Ozuna's got to get a hit. And he's 0 for 4 in the game. Inside, ball 1. The Hops had it going their way the entire game. They scored 1 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 5th, another in the 7th, led 4-0 going to the 9th inning. Looks like they were on cruise control. And then a 4-run 9th by the Indians, highlighted by the 3-run homer from Sanchez. And there's one off of the pitcher to second base. You talk about a fortuitous bounce for the Indians. That was headed to center field for a base hit, but it goes off the leg of Parra and right to Dylan Moore, the second baseman. So we've got some bonus baseball here on our Sunday showcase. We go to the 10th, tied at 4. So here we go, extra innings, top of the 10th on the Sunday showcase. 4-4 our score. The Indians will send up the top of the order again. Leon Byrd, that was the thing that got it kick-started in the 9th inning with a double. But be facing another new pitcher. Brody Greer comes out of the bullpen, a guy who was once upon a time a non-drafted free agent, now as a third-year pro at the age of 24.
Well, he's done a nice job this season, as you can see, of getting out of some jams. He's averaging more than nearly 2 strikeouts an inning, but he throws a lot of pitches. He has at times some command problems. He's on here. Got to throw strikes here early. When you come into a game and a tie game in extra innings, first and foremost, you got to get the ball in the strike zone.
Well, Leon Byrd will face him. Byrd had that bloop double to start things off in the 9th. And then a single by Arizara. A single by Dylan Moore. That brought in Ryan Burr, who struck out Potts, and then got LaCruz to hit a fly ball to center field. You thought, okay, the fire has been put out. And then Tyler Sanchez on a 3-1 pitch got one up into the wind, and the wind drove it out of here over the wall in the left field corner over the 325-foot marker. 2 strikes quickly on Byrd.
Both fastballs. Good tailing fastballs right there. Getting that wind blowing out much of the second half of the ball game.
And got him on 3 pitches.
This is a good bender right here. Set him up. It's a fastball, exact. Looked like a slider in on his hands. Byrd not happy. Not sure why he wasn't happy. Swung at the last 2 pitches.
Yeah. Wasn't happy because he missed him. Well, here is Arizari, who has been an impossible out. He's 3 for 4 in the game, 3 of the 8 hits for the Indians. Ooh, that one missed somewhere. 1-0. Popped it up. Veras, 2 out.
Well, now if you're Moore coming to the plate, we talked about this before. Those are the things you got to look at and say, you know, I need an extra base hit here. I don't steal many bags. A single really doesn't help my team too much. I'm looking for something I can juice into the gap somewhere. You can tell he can hit the ball in the ballpark for 3 home runs. He's driven in 14, so he's looking for something he can go with right now.
Moore had an RBI single in the 9th. He didn't hit it hard, but he hit it, played it where they weren't. And that chased Troy Marks from the game. So Marks faced 3 batters, didn't retire a 1, but 2 of the 3 hits he surrendered were bloop hits. 2-0 now to Dylan Moore.
Can't be tardy here. If you swing at this, you want to be out in front of it. If you don't, we want to be behind it. And he was tardy.
There's strike 2. Brody Greer trying to restore order for the Hops here in the 10th. Again, the Hops won the first 3 games of this 5-game series. Late swing again. It's 2-2 to Dylan Moore.
A real defensive swing.
Yeah.
Have not seen Greer go to anything other than the fastball. It's an unusual setup. He's holding the circle change. I don't think he'll be throwing a circle change here.
He wasn't.
Oh, it's a heater.
Oh, yeah. look at Tim Hewlett. You can tell he's not only a third base coach, but a manager. You can tell because he's got a pen clipped to his uniform. No third base coach would have a pen clipped to his uniform.
Still right.
But a manager would, because he's got to make changes. Whoa, there goes the bat. Somebody's going to have a bat pinned to their gray tank top. I could hit one out, he says. I could hit one out. And now the trading begins. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. And you described the bat.
Well, it leaves your hand right there, and then it becomes a object to get out of the way of.
So to the bottom of the 10th we go. 4-4 our score from Ron Tonkin Field. This is what's happened. I mean, it looked like the Hops, they were on cruise control. Then all of a sudden a 4-run ninth by Spokane. And here we are to the bottom of the 10th inning. Luis Parra still in there in relief. He faced one batter, and that was Ozuna. And it looked like Ozuna might have a game-winning hit. He poked one right back through the box, but it went off of the leg of Parra right to second baseman Moore for the put-out to end the 9th inning. And that left Alcantara stranded at second base. So here is Steven Desi, who is 0 for 4 in the game, lefty versus lefty.
25 of 39 hitters coming to the plate. Spokane Indians pitching staff got in the head with strike one.
Well, the Indians have actually now out-hit the Hops 8-7. Of course, 5 of those 8 hits came in the 9th. By the way, the Hops this year 2-1 in extra inning games.
Well, a real advantage for the home team. The home team right now knows they're going to have at least 2 more at bats in this game if they don't win it right here. So it's an advantage, especially when you get in the middle of the frame.
Breaking ball outside, 2-2 to Desi.
That's a big pitch right here. Do not want to go 3-2 and allow the leadoff base runner to reach base. Crowd knows it.
Might have been ball 3, but probably too close to take. So it's still 2-2. You look at Trevor Mitsui, who is on deck. Mitsui has 3 home runs this year. Desi, who's at the plate now, has 2. The wind more favorable for right-handed batters right now. And got a piece of that one to foul it straight back.
He's got him set up for a good breaking ball. If you can throw a strike with it, you can see that wind. The Hawks going out. Hitters love it. Pitchers hate it.
Well, there's the breaking ball, but he didn't get it anywhere near enough.
Yeah, it didn't make it look like a strike,
Right.
Dave. That's the important part. It doesn't have to necessarily be a strike, but it has to look like a strike, and it was a ball out of his hand.
So the 3-2 pitch. Got him. The high fastball. 1 out in the 10th.
Solid at bat. Worked it back to a full count. Went after ball 4. You can see it as a hitter. You see that high fastball so well. You just can't lay off of it. But you can't get on top of it.
Mitsui has walked twice in this game. He's 0 for 2 officially. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it out of play. Great night tonight here in Hillsboro. We've had a chance to tell you about Shelley Duncan, the manager. Had a chance to catch up with Cale Wambacher, the outstanding executive vice president and general manager here of the Hops. Sampled some of the long ball ale. Unbelievable dessert. Got a couple of free caps with hops on them. Then we visited with Bob Gebhardt, the vice president and assistant to the general manager of the Diamondbacks, along with Derek Ladnier, who is the scouting director of the Diamondbacks. And then Ashley visited with Mike and Laura McMurray, the owners of the team. Ball and 2 strikes. And we have been able to enjoy the beauty of the Pacific Northwest. And now, bonus baseball. Little chopper in the hole. Irizarry with a long throw and a 2-hopper in time to get Mitsui.
I understand the field you're playing on. You work on that early in the day. You know you're going to the right. Use the carpet. Exactly what he does. Sets his feet right here. Said, I'm going to use the carpet, make it a good long throw, and it actually was a 1-hopper.
It was. I thought it was 2, but you're right. I think he wanted to get that a little bit closer to the first baseman than what it was. But he got the out anyway, and it's 2 outs, nobody on for Veras. Strike 1. Veras has a double in 4 at-bats and 2 home runs on the year.
Good movement to that fastball that time.
He's been ahead of each hitter in this inning, 0-2. A little bit high. He wanted that one.
He did. He was trying to get off the field right there.
And the put out at first sends us to the 11th inning. So to the 11th we go in Hillsboro, all tied at 4.
Well, a good breaking ball right here at a good location, down and in on his back foot. Gets the strikeout.
Bonus baseball here from Hillsboro, Oregon. 4-4 our score as we go to the 11th inning with Mr. Moreland, Keith Moreland and Ashley Bullington. I'm Dave Armstrong. Glad to have you with us here on ASN tonight for our Sunday showcase. Jamie Potts, the batter. The golden sombrero tonight, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Not a good day. Looking to make contact right here, I guarantee you.
Two 2-0 to Jamie Potts.
You're looking one pitch in one spot right here, probably down and in. As Potts, left-hander, most left-handers like the ball down.
It didn't quite get down far enough. He was looking for that pitch, and he pops it up down the right field line where it's handled by Desi. 1 out. That was up just enough.
Yep, just enough where he couldn't quite get extended on it. But he was definitely looking for a pitch to extend on it.
You have to explain that to me too, Keith. Why?
I don't know.
Right-handed batters like it up, and left-handed batters love it down and in. They just drop the barrel of that bat, and it's been like that forever.
Forever.
Since Babe Ruth.
No doubt. He was a good low ball hitter.
Sherman LaCruz trying to bunt his way aboard. Greer pops off the mound. 2 out. Looking ahead to the Hops 11th inning. The power portion of their lineup is coming up. They have hitters 6 through 9. That's the part of the order that's done the most damage tonight for Hillsboro.
There's the big day right here.
Yeah, this is the big one. This is why we're still here. Tyler Sanchez and his 3-run game-tying home run in the 9th. Well, let's look back at it. The 9th inning on a 3-1 pitch.
Look, it's good extension right here. Gets it up, lets it ride the breeze, and gets out of here. And the home run changes the game, doesn't it? The same scenario. He got 2-0.
Yeah.
And the home run at bat was a little tardy on the 2-0 fastball, but not the 3-1 fastball.
So with one swing of the bat, he more than doubled his RPI output for the year. Oh, boy. Greer pulled the string on that one, and it's 2-1.
He started it early. That's the right thing to do. He was looking heater. Got a slider.
The 2-1 pitch is inside, and now it's 3-1. Same count as the home run in the 9th. I wouldn't go inside.
I wouldn't throw a fastball.
Whatever I did, I would not go inside. And look where Kaylees is setting up, way outside, and it's ball 4. So Sanchez trots on down to first base. Big smile on his face, and now Greer will go after Diego Cedeno.
Now batting, first baseman, number 7.
Yeah, a little light rain falling. We've seen nothing but sunshine. Now a little light rain, lots of wind. This doesn't look like a storm that will last. And here in the Portland area, they don't even know it's raining. That one hits the umpire and goes out into right field.
It's a dead ball.
Sanchez will stop at second base.
The ball's dead. Watch the replay. The umpire quite upset at himself because they don't like to get in the way. Try to stay out of the way, but as soon as this ball hits him, the ball's dead. Everybody has to stop. One more base in front of him. You can see him throw his hands up. See him try to get out of the way and be quite upset. He pounds his hands. You don't see umpires pound the ground very often. He's upset because he's trying to get out of the way. These guys are trying to work their way to the big leagues as well.
Yeah. So it's a base hit. And again, Sanchez with the dead ball gets to go to second base. Cedeno at first. And here is Taekwon Forbes. Forbes hit by a pitch his last time, remember? Right up on the tricep. And that didn't feel good. Trying to give the Indians their first lead of the game. Strike 1 to Taekwon Forbes. A second-round pick by the Rangers. 17th prospect in their system. Ooh, just missed. 1-1.
He's got a great frame, excellent speed, big-time arm. Might be able to play center field. He's going to get bigger and stronger. He's going to develop into have some power as well.
You don't project him as a third baseman?
I do not.
Okay.
I think I look at him more as a corner outfielder once he matures.
He's long and lanky, isn't he? He swung at a pitch that bounced a good 5 feet in front of home plate.
Well, it's a breaking ball, and he was. Sometimes you think, I'm going to get a breaking ball, and you see breaking ball, and you swing at it regardless if it's a strike. I think he had committed, I'm going to swing at this, and he started forward. Couldn't stop it. I don't change anything.
It looks like it's really pouring on that picture, but it's not. It's light rainfall. Two and two.
going back to a breaking ball right here and not throw a strike. Just make it look like a strike. Try to get the strikeout right here.
Another one in the dirt. Now the runners will be off with the pitch. 3-2 the count and 2 out. And again, it looks like it's raining hard on that picture. It's sort of like the camera adding 10 pounds to our frame, more like 20 to us. But anyway, the cameras kind of lie a little bit sometimes. It's not raining that hard at all. Well, 3-2 pitch. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 11th inning, and that's ball 4. So now they're loaded. A walk, a single that hit an umpire, and another walk.
And get the matchup. If you're the Indians, you want a lefty-righty matchup.
Left fielder number 21, Doug Votolato.
Good time to get your first RBI of the year. As a hitter, it's what you're thinking.
Foul straight back by Votolato, who's 0 for 4 in the game with 2 strikeouts.
Nice job to get ahead, though, on the backside by Greer. Attacks the strike zone there and gets strike 1.
Tim Hewlett standing there, managing, coaching third. Now with the bases full of Indians. Oh, again, just missed. 1-1 the count. And home plate umpire Drew Bowman goes out to have a word with the pitcher Greer. He stepped out from behind the plate.
He was asking, I think, for help at second base. But that's an impossible call for the umpire out in between the mound and second base to see if he swung or not.
Fouled out of play, 1-2.
Got a pitch to hit right there.
He knows it.
Yeah. Now it'll be more defensive. As a hitter, you got to find a way to make contact right here.
This one gets away from the catcher, Kaylees. Here comes the runner, and he's safe at the plate. Sanchez scores the go-ahead run to make it 5-4 Indians.
Split finger, some type of off-speed pitch. It's down in the dirt. Ball just scoots just a little bit. Can't find it right there. Nice anticipation by Sanchez. If he doesn't anticipate that well, he doesn't get in there. Just able to get in ahead of the tag. That's a really nice job of anticipation, because that was well done once he found the baseball.
Sanchez, a catcher, comes racing home from third. The other 2 runners move up a bag. And that one, I believe, it hit Votolato, although now they're saying it didn't.
I think it hit the umpire in the right shin guard.
So another run scores on yet another wild pitch.
See him moving that shin guard around. Underneath those pants is a shin guard. See if it doesn't catch in the right knee of the umpire. That's exactly where it catches.
I thought at first it hit Votolato right there. Did you see how it kind of nicked off his... It nicked off his thigh, I believe, and then hit the umpire. Maybe I'm wrong. Did you see it hit his thigh?
I saw it. I didn't see it hit his thigh. I thought it hit the umpire.
All right.
The umpire's going to stay in the game.
So 2 wild pitches in the inning, and the umpire still adjusting his shin guard. Let's see if it hits Votolato first. I don't know. Does it look like it changes direction, or is that just the pitch itself?
I think it's got some movement to it.
All right.
I guarantee as a hitter, if you get hit with that pitch right there, you're going to sell it better than he did.
Yeah. So 2 wild pitches allowing 2 runs to score, and now a swing and a miss by Votolato, and that'll do it. But how about that? After 2 out, nobody on, 2 walks, 2 wild pitches, and 2 runs for the Indians. 6-4 going to the bottom of the 11th. Well, we've seen it all now. A 2-out, 3-run homer by Sanchez in the 9th to tie it, and then 2-run scoring for the Indians on wild pitches in the 11th. Wow. So we go to the home half of the 11th. Hoffpower will bat first, then Smith, then Kaylees. If anybody gets aboard, Alcantara, who has 3 hits tonight. Luis Parra is still out there throwing for the Indians. He would stand to get the victory if they close the deal here in the 11th. And now it is raining a little harder.
He's done a nice job of coming in and doing what he's asked to do coming out of the pen. Just get the outs, and all of a sudden he's going to put himself in a position to come up with a victory if he can keep pouring strikes in there.
Boy, that extra run that scored on the second wild pitch, that's huge. And you can just see Shelley Duncan is not happy at all. His team surrenders a 4-0 lead in the 9th.
Then has 2 outs, nobody on in the 11th.
Yes.
That leads to 2 runs.
And a walk to the next guy, a single, and then another walk. So those walks played a big part of that 11th inning along with the wild pitches. Three and 2 now the count to Hoffpower, who's just trying to get aboard. Hoffpower gives it a ride, deep left field, into the corner and gone. His first homer of the year. Wow. And now how big was that second run?
Oh, it's gigantic, but a nice job right there on a 3-1 pitch. Comes back and challenges him inside on a 3-2 pitch. Umpire makes him pay for it. He knew he got it right here.
Hoffpower, his first home run as a pro. From Stanford University, Zach Hoffpower. And you look at Parra, he knew it. So Hoffpower, who was drafted in the 22nd round this year out of Stanford, comes up with his first home run of his pro career. And now here's Jeff Smith. And keep in mind, this bottom third of the order for the Hops, they have done all the damage. Smith is 1 for 3 and 2 runs scored. And that breaking ball called to strike, and it's 0-2 to Smith.
The bunt back in order here if you can find a way to reach base if you're Smith.
Strike 3 called.
Well, that takes the bunt out of play now.
Yeah.
First pitch was a breaking ball in. On the first pitch, and he comes back door with the breaking ball that time. Gets a good location and gets the strikeout right there.
So now Kaylees. He's 1 for 4 with a double. His double set up a run in the 3rd. That in the dirt, ball 1. Sun shining again here after a brief rain shower. Two runs in the top of this 11th by the Indians on wild pitches. Have you ever? And I've seen a run score on a wild pitch, but not 2 runs in 1 inning.
Oh,
On
back-to-back pitches.
Yeah, back-to-back wild pitches. One in the dirt, another one that go by the catcher and hit the umpire in the shin. There's a breaking ball in front of the plate. Now it's 2-2. These fans have gotten their money's worth here tonight. They've seen a lot of baseball. A lot of crazy things that have happened. There's a little squibber in the hole. No play, really, at first base, and that's an infield single for Kay Lees. So the tying run is aboard.
I would think we'll get a pinch runner here just to break a ball in on the hands, hit it in the right spot. Much you can do about it. Tried to get rid of it, used the deal, but beat out easily. I think we would get a pinch runner.
We do. Hernandez coming in to pinch run for Kay Lees. So Hernandez running at first. He represents the tying run.
Pitch running at first for Kay Lees. Number 4, Gerard Hernandez.
So Gerard Hernandez now at first, and here is the hot-hitting Sergio Alcantara, who is 3 for 3 in this game, and he is 8 for 13 in the series. Plus, he has 8 runs batted in the series. 8 of his 10 runs batted in are in this series.
He's a right-handed hitter this time, the switch hitter. He's a home run away from the cycle in this game.
That's true. And a good cut at one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Alcantara. 18-year-old. Getting his lead, Hernandez at first. And a toss back over. Alcantara took a trip from his native Dominican Republic when he was just 13. The Dominican team that won the Cal Ripken World Series. Strike 2 called. Alcantara had a signing bonus of $700,000 with the Diamondbacks when he signed as a 16-year-old back in July of 2012.
You got to stay with the runner right here because you just can't fall asleep. You got a guy that can steal a bag.
In the dirt, almost hit him.
Nice job by Sanchez to smother that.
That keeps that tying run at first.
Hernandez is not getting a good read at this point either. So that's the other part of that. He's leaning more toward first base than he is trying to get anticipating moving up to second. Now he's getting a little bigger lead this time.
2-2 pitch hit on the ground. Forbes has got it to second. Safe. Risky play by Forbes.
That's one of those that you should know to go across the diamond and get an out. Because it's going to be easier to get an out at first than it is to get an out at second. But he gets right here. He takes a look, goes to second, knows he's got to rush. I don't know that he gets him with a good throw. Good anticipation right here, excellent speed. You see the throw coming that way. I don't think he gets him even if the throw is good. So you got to go across the diamond to first base to get that out.
Now they call it an error on the third baseman Forbes. It'll be a fielder's choice for Alcantara. He's on at first. The tying run now at second in Hernandez. And the batter is Nerriere. who is 1 for 5 on the night. Nerriere, by the way, has hit close to 500 at home this year. He does have a home run. And he looks at a fastball for a strike.
Bullpen starting to get active for the Indians.
Nerriere played his college ball first at Orange Coast Community College and then Houston Baptist. Drafted in the 16th round this year. Did he go? And they say yes. That time, the base umpire rung him up for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Well, you can see, watch the barrel of the bat here, folks. It'll get across the plate. I don't think there's a question in my mind that that was a swing. As that barrel got across the plate. He got it back quickly, but he still made the attempt to swing.
Yep. That time in the dirt, and he doesn't swing, and it's 2-2. And another good stop by Sanchez.
This is the pitch of the ball game. You would think after scoring 2 in the top of the frame that you could secure this. Well, this is the pitch of the game right here. You do not want to go 3-2.
Little chopper off the plate. Forbes charges. Throws across his body in time at first base. So now the runners are at second and third. The tying run at third. The potential winning run at second base.
It's a nice play by Forbes, showing you his arm strength right there. He's a little bit off balance, as you mentioned, across his body. But if he goes to get the out on the previous play at first base, the ball game's over.
Stitt, go ahead, Keith.
Stitt, now you got one more big out to get. The tying run 90 feet away and the winning run 180 feet away.
Keith, I find it interesting that it's Ozuna, because Ozuna was the first guy to face Parra.
Sure was.
And you'll remember he went after the first pitch and rifled the ball right back through the box that hit Parra on the leg and went right to the second baseman Moore for the out. Up high, ball 1. So Ozuna was not fooled at all by Parra, and he comes to the plate, I'm sure, brimming with confidence.
Open base with a left-handed hitter on deck as well. Gives you options as a pitcher and a catcher.
Tying run at third. Potential winning run at second base. Broken bat down to Forbes, and that'll do it. The Indians hang on and defeat the Hops for the first time here in Hillsboro. The final score 6-5 in 11 innings.
Now they got in on his kitchen with a good fastball in on his hands, made a good pitch, and the defense came up, made a play at the end to secure the victory.
What a comeback by the Indians, who were dead in the water in the 9th inning. They were trailing 4-0 in the 9th, Keith. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they score 4 runs on 5 hits after having only 3 hits the entire game, all capped by that 2-out home run from Tyler Sanchez.
Well, that does it in the 9th inning. How about scoring 2 runs on back-to-back pitches, on wild pitches in the 11th to come away with the victory?
So let's go back to Tyler Sanchez on a 3-1 count in the 9th.
Well, 2-0, he missed it. 3-1, he didn't. He got the hit out in front, and this ties the ball game against Ryan Burr, the closer. And you just feel really good about yourself that you tied it. Then they come up with a wild pitch, good anticipation by Sanchez to come in to score on the first one. The very next pitch gets away for the second run. That second one, the difference in the game.
How about that? So the Indians, who had lost the first 3 games of the series, including getting shut out yesterday, 9-0. Looks like they were on their way to another shutout loss here today, trailing 4-0 in the 9th inning. And Tim Hewlett and his crew comes through with a big comeback victory.
Well, it was an outstanding job of not giving up. It's one of those, if you're the Hops, you're thinking, boy, we let one slip away when you're leading the league late in the first half. When you look at what the Indians, that's a big emotional win. That's a good team-building win right there.
Great trip, wasn't it, Keith?
It was
to the
outstanding.
Pacific Northwest?
Outstanding.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. So for Keith Moreland and Ashley Bullington and our entire crew, I'm Dave Armstrong. Hoping you had a good night tonight on the Sunday Showcase. We certainly had a great time here in Hillsboro. So for scores, highlights, features, and more, go to AmericanSportsNet.com. This has been a presentation of ASN, the American Sports Network. Your teams, your passion, your network.